did I see? What did I see when you sing it? What did I see when you swing it? That funny old tune will drive me to ruin. It came along and made me its slave. Now I'm craving things that I should crave. It came along and made me its slave. Now I'm craving things that I should crave.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be looking at even more conspiracy theories. Let's see, MMO Addicted with 100 bits says, I have commissioned more art now that I can write it off as a business expense to test art styles of potential artists to hire. The power is too much. Nice. Towing24 with 20 bits says, kinky sex mask. Hey, why do you gotta assume that a mask is a sex mask? It's just a mask. Come on. Why is it gotta be a sex mask? Wagroads with 100 bits, thank you, and the Otaku X, thank you for gifting a sub. Ashiboo74 with 20 bits. The mask, I'm dead, you look great today, Hannah. Thank you. Logarth with 20 bits, my conspiracy is that we might have something to talk about around 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. Wing the Ultimate Nug with, thank you for resubscribing. With a 7-month streak, says, I've been thinking maybe it's time to study critical thinking. Anyone have sources? I don't. Sorry. Someone in the chat might, though. We're on a hype train. We're at 73% of level 1. I have all sorts of new fun tinfoil stuff, so if we get some hype train going at higher levels today, I'll put some of that stuff on. Hint, there's wings. So maybe we'll get some wings. I don't know about this mask. I don't think it looks good with my bangs, but, you know. Innsmouth Swim Team with 250 bits. Behold the tinfoil tiefling in her mysterious mask. Creeping Darkness with 20 bits. Where's Hannah? Who's this superhero we have on camera today? Cornhole Blaster with 100 bits. Mask too sexy to be anything but sex mask. If you say so. Towing24 with 20 bits. Lies, you look great. MMO Addicted with 100 bits. Winged Succubus Hannah. Logarth with 20 bits. Critical Thinking Lesson number 1. Figure out where to find information of critical thinking and open this can of beans. Oh no! Not Bean Dad! We're not doing Bean Dad. Okay, there's level 1. That'll get you. Let's go with the jacket today. We'll go tinfoil jacket. 74 Quinn 74 just says wings. Very reflecty. Towing24, thank you for gifting 5 subs to the community. Wagroads 13 with 100 bits, thank you. Wings are level 5, I would say so. Wings are probably level 5. MMO addicted with 1,000 bits. Wings now or riot. Well, get us to a level 5 hype train. The Otaku X with 100 bits. I have no confidence in progress, but these streams made me schedule an appointment with my counselor about my dysphoria for the first time in months. That's good. I'm glad. It can be tough. It can be tough, and you get off track with that stuff, but as long as you come back to it, you know, good for you. Antipodian Squid, thank you for subscribing with an 8-month streak. It's almost time for a sub, baby. Yeah, very close. The original Lila with 50 bits looks like if SpaceX came out with a jacket. CA Corner with 20 bits says, for the wings. Yeah, I gotta get some other stuff going, because we're at 31% of level 5, and we might do it. Ashiboo74 with 200 bits says, give me the wings. Redacted 420, thank you for subscribing with a 2-month streak, says, yay. We get some of the other stuff going. We get some gloves. Danjo, thank you for gifting a sub. Thicket Izzy with 100 bits says, this week's Good Queer Rec is a podcast. Y'all should check out Compelled Duel. It's a great queer narrative RPG podcast. It's still small, but very good, so I wanted to share it. Sweet.
There's nothing funny about the
MMO Addicted with 100 bits. Oh yeah, to know if I ever mentioned it here, this is all some other folks I follow made me realize I may be NB, so in private and friendly online circles, I started to use they, them. Nice. Redacted 420, thank you for the 100 bits. Chrissia, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Icy Pina 41 with 100 bits. Innsmouth Swim Team with 200 bits says, I haven't done fan art for you or Jake, but damn, I think I'll have to. Please do. We have in our Discord, we have a fan art channel if you want to share it. We did it. 155% of level 5. We have done it. Let me get some other stuff. So, I'm thinking level 5 means we get to upgrade the hat, because I have a different hat for this. And I'll put on the wings. So let me get the other hat. Oh no. It's tangled in the mask. KR Goss. Ooh, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the community. There we go. Take that, hat. You're no longer needed. Let me get these wings. We're at 321%. Dang. You guys really want those wings. Ugh. Ugh. Woo! You think that might be a bit much? You think it's a little ostentatious? What do you think? Antipodian Squid asks, but where are the incredible goggles? They're on my new hat. Look at this dog and cat with 100 bits. Thank you. Logarth with 20 bits. I feel Hannah is going to contact juggle some glass spheres at us in a Dream State Balls scene. Comrade Devin with 20 bits. You need to get some silver holographic style lipstick to complete the look. Yeah, I have some sparkly stuff, but it doesn't look good on its own. It kind of needs to be on other stuff. Alter Grin says they made affiliate last night. Congratulations. I know that can be a pain to get through all the processes of getting different Twitch stuff, so that's good. God, I'm trying to adjust these wings, but it is not agreeing with me. There we go. we got our stimmy, so time to redistribute the wealth. Thank you. Logarth with 20 bits. I wish they would all be conspiracy girls. Veramillion Rockfish. Thank you for subscribing. MMO Addicted with 100 bits. The Tinfoil Tiefling Trans Train Conductor. Ooh, I gotta loosen these straps. These are... Ugh. Oh, those are killing me. 0M80 with 100 bits. Hey, Hannah, I was wondering if you've heard of a podcast called No Agenda. It's the most poorly named podcast I've ever listened to. They will make fun of crazier stuff that Alex Jones will say, but otherwise they're pretty right-wing conspiracy podcast. That's strange. Creeping Darkness with 20 bits. I know exactly what you need. I have a silver makeup that's used for, like, stage productions. I can link you if interested. Sure. I could probably find some, but if you wanted to link it, sure.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Am I foily enough? Is this a look? Is this a style? What is this? What is my life?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Can I make the wings flap? Not really. So there we go. This is the new Alumina. Gotta make a new emote. To be honest, you don't like the hat? Why don't you like the hat? Can we get a new emote of the evolved Hannah? Maybe.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
You like the horns best? I could switch to the horns. I do have the horns. Covers up my bangs. I mean, the bangs are there to cover stuff up anyway,
There's nothing
so...
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. Everyone check off, Rant Sona. But for real, though, I think you look fantastic, and I love it. Thank you. MMO Addicted with 100 bits. Whoever said that, shut up, that hat is amazing. Logarth with 20 bits. It's like Elton John and David Lee Roth did the fusion dance. God, can I... Hold on. Let me see if I can loosen the wing straps, because they're, like, cutting off circulation to my arms. Oh, no. How am I gonna... Okay, we'll take a vote, okay? We have hat. Sometimes I'll do the hat, and sometimes I'll do the horns. So would you rather do hats today? Or horns today? Hold on, I'll do a poll.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism. There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Okay, answer this poll if you want hat or horns. I misspelled horns, but you know what it is. It was a typo because of the gloves. The gloves make it difficult.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Come on, I gotta get these off so I can adjust them. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm just stuck in them for now. Oh, the horns are winning. I'm a little surprised, but that's fine.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Boston accent. Everyone wants to watch Horny Hannah. Ha ha ha. Funny. Very funny. Phantom of the Tinfoil. Vote is rigged. Could I wear the hat with the horns? I don't think it'll fit. No. That's a shame. Wow! Oh no! It's literally 50-50! It tied! Oh, Christ. I've never seen that happen! Oh no! We're gonna flip a coin. We're gonna flip a coin. Heads is hat, tails is horns. Heads, hat wins. We will do horns next week. Assuming we get to hype train levels that would be appropriate for it. Calling up the AG office and ranting for an hour after that. Totally rigged hat. It's good to follow the president's lead, you know? It's nice. Further back so you can see the bangs. I'll try, but it kind of gets in the way of the wings. The wings bump into it then. Yeah, it's hitting the wings. I can't. I have to have it up here. I'm gonna have to adjust the wings. At some point, I might have to take the wings off to see if I can adjust them, just because, like, they are cutting off circulation to my arms almost entirely. Hold on. I'll try and fix this before we get into actual videos, okay? Can I adjust these? It doesn't look like there's any way to adjust them, so I think I just kind of have to deal with it. Which is a shame. Hopefully they'll stretch out, but they're stretchy, so I kind of doubt it. The polling system you use is from Venezuela. We need a recount. Okay, let me adjust.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
There, how's that? You can still kind of see the bangs. They look so tight. Oh, they are. They're very tight. I think these are meant for children. When the Ultimate Nug says I was too late, I vote for horns. Doesn't matter. You weren't part of the thing. Logarth says roll a dice. Flipped a coin. That's like dice. C8RNJR, thank you for following. Killjoy102 says, when you and Jake complained about the sausage guy in your present opening video, I was chuckling. I'm the guy who linked him to you both. I feel like I had done well. I like sausage guy. The Otaku X with 100 bits. If anyone here likes manga and trans issues, they should check out The Bride Was a Boy, and then KR Goss with 20 bits. If you have a Rubbermaid container, you can put the elastic over it when you aren't wearing them. We did that for similar stuff to loosen elastic. Okay, good to know. Razzle Tazzle 91 with 100 bits. Can you extend the wing straps at all? No, I can't. Ugh, it's like cutting right into my circulation. I gotta figure something else out. Ooh. Okay. I could take them off. You guys got the hype train, though. That's... Take them off until you can fix them. Okay, it kind of hurts, I'm not gonna lie. We'll fix them, and then we'll have them in the future for when we can get them to work without hurting me. That would be good. The original Lila, thank you for subscribing with Prime. That's a 2-month streak. Says I sub for Hannah. Harry K5 with 20 bits. To be serious, I think that these challenges are a test run. 2024 if Biden or Harris win. They expect to take back both House and Senate in 22. You missed an earlier bits message. I'll look in a sec. MMO addicted to 20 bits. Put your horns onto your neck as back spines. You guys won't even be able to see them. I effed up my hair all kinds of ways, too. Yikes.
That's right, capitalistic
Stromboli
propaganda.
Wi-Fi says, just got my wife into... Oh, no. Just got my wife into pegging me, but we call it The Thing. Now when I hear you and Jake say The Thing, I giggle. Right on. Let me see if I can find the older bits message that I missed. Harry K5 says, hi, Hannah. I feel like it's last year since I talked to you. You probably would fit in at an EDM festival with that. Just got some glowing LED goggles in your set. Just put some LEDs in these. It's close enough. It's redundant, though, right? I'm wearing a mask and a hat with goggles. You gotta pick one. Oh. For Qanonsense, you need to cover the Linwood lizard people stuff. I'm not even familiar, so I would need to look into it maybe for next week. Jalen Jean with 50 bits, whether it's wings or boneless, you still look gorgeous, Hannah. Thank you. AshyBoost74, thank you for gifting us up. Okay, so let's see what we have on the docket today for Tinfoil Tuesday. We have the third part of Spirit Science's video series, The Conspiracy Theory of Everything. Last episode was about QAnon bullshit, so we'll see what they have to talk about today. We have Elizabeth April, emissary to the Galactic Federation. This is actually the uniform of the Galactic Federation, if you don't know. I'm an honorary member. Anyway, this video is They Are Scared. They have a reason to be, so we're gonna have her tell us why the elites are afraid of her and her hippie friends. We have Nathan Thompson, not on his official channel, because of course his channel was deleted. But we have an older video of him talking about things all globe earthers say. So we'll check that out. We have RV Truth talking about the crown and white horse symbolism. This is the end rapture scene. We have these two individuals who are going to talk about the Vril, which I think are reptilians. We have this guy talking about flat earth. We have some just QAnon nonsense that I pulled up. We'll kind of pick through that and see if there's anything worth watching. Make sure you get your Tinfoil Tuesday bingo cards. You can get one by doing ! Bingo in chat. Get your bingo card. One bingo card per person, please. And then the first person to win is going to get gifted a sub. If you already have a sub, I can either write your name down for another time, or if you have someone else you'd like me to gift it to or randomly gift it to the community, just let me know and we'll do that instead. Okay. What are we going to start with today? And no refreshing, yeah. Don't keep refreshing until you get a card you want. It's all honor system because I can't see your screens, but, you know, don't be a dick, okay? And if you've already won in the last, what did I say? I'm going to say if you can win once a month. So if you already won this month, it's now January, so no one else has won this month. But if you win like today, you can't win until February. Have I looked into mud flood conspiracies? No, I haven't. I'll have to. Antiponian Squid with 100 bits. As an FYI, the rest of the Conspiracy of Everything series isn't as yikesy as the last one. Thought of you in chat would like to know. Some of it still gets a little problematic, but none of it gets that bad again. Well, that's good. Trans Queen of Salt with 300 bits. Hella great outfit. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then MMO Addicted with 20 bits. I always cheat, yet never win bingo as I get bored of checking it and just close the tab. Okay. Okay. Let's get to the stuff, shall we? What should we do first? Let's start with our good friend Nathan Thompson, resident flat earther. Let's take a look at what Nathan has to say. This is a video from, I don't know, probably years ago. This is from 2018 or so. And this is him talking about things all globe earthers say. So hey, globe heads like myself out there, let's get ready to get owned with facts and logic. Oh my god, just get to the video. There we go.
Breaking news, the Earth is flat. NASALives.org hooked me up with this, so shout out Ernest. You guys do a really good job over there at NASA Lives, so. I had an interaction today at AT&T with like 10 gentlemen that were all working at AT&T, and there were 0 customers in there. So I decided to tell them all about Flat Earth, and they had the same questions that everyone's always asking every time they come in the group.
Nathan, I just want to point this out. Like, when you're in public, whether it's about Flat Earth or anything else, Flat Earth is pretty ridiculous. I think we all agree, and I think I know something about ridiculous. I'm wearing this. People in public don't want to be proselytized to about anything, whether it's Flat Earth, or it's your politics, or it's your religion, or any sort of belief system you have. When you're, like, in commerce with someone, and you go into Walmart, or you go into AT&T, or wherever you happen to be going, people are just trying to do their jobs, and they'll help you to the best of their ability most of the time, but, like, they don't want to be talked at in a situation where they don't have autonomy to tell you to go away. Because that's what you're doing, right? They're employees. They can't just yell at you and be like, you know, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation. They kind of have to abide it. So it's not cool. It's not a good place to solicit. Don't solicit, like, conversations about your deeply held beliefs in public like that. If you're in a park or something, I guess you can do that in a public place. But when you're going into someone else's place of work and you're harassing them, people don't like that. Don't do that.
So I just want to make a video about how redundant the globeheads are with their arguments, because it's so programmed, it's so Pavlovian. I don't know if you guys know what a Pavlovian response is, but they did a test and they used to ring the bell and then serve dinner to the dogs, and then they found out that they just have to ring the bell and the dogs would start salivating like the dinner was coming. And so that's exactly what happens with Flat Earth. You say Flat Earth, you ring the bell, and all the globeheads just start foaming at the mouth and telling you how stupid you are.
Have you considered, Nathan, that it's not necessarily a programmed response? Like, from someone like me, I deal with Flat Earth stuff all the time because this is my job. So it's a lot of fun, and I know the arguments, and I can rebut, you know, a great deal of them. I'm not like a big math person, so I can't actually show you the math. However, I can point you in the direction of people who can show you the math. But, like, a lot of the stuff that you guys say can be refuted relatively easily, because what you guys do is you'll say the same stuff over and over. Nathan Thompson is a good example of this. He'll say things like, the water doesn't curve, like a meme. It's like he'll just repeat it. Water doesn't curve, water doesn't curve, water doesn't curve. Show me the curvature, yada, yada, yada. Oh, this photo shouldn't be seeing this thing, or whatever. You guys repeat the same arguments all the time, so it makes sense that people are going to repeat rebuttals, because there's a rebuttal to what you're saying, because the Earth isn't flat, and if, again, we're living in a consistent world that we understand to be round, the rebuttals are going to be very similar for the same exact argument over and over again. It would be like you think 2 + 2 = 5, and you're getting mad every time someone's like, no, actually it equals 4. Like, they're not brainwashed because they happen to know the right answer or know how to question your wrongly held beliefs.
And some of them are polite, but in their mind, that's what they're trained to think. And then they have the same questions, the same arguments, because you're more likely to spot Bigfoot in nature than you are to find a globehead doing an
Mark Flat Earth off your bingo cards.
experiment on the shape of the Earth. Am I right? Has anyone ever ran into? Please, I'll send you $100. You send me a video of a globehead you run into randomly in nature that is conducting experiments on the shape of the Earth. It does not happen.
Right, people don't typically re-experiment. First of all, laymen don't typically do experiments in the first place outside of the context of, like, a school or a classroom somewhere, right? Where they're having you go over some sort of experiment to derive something from it, right? But normal people who aren't scientists don't typically carry out experimentation. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it would be great for people to understand the scientific process more and be able to apply it in their lives for problem solving, but typically people don't run experiments because it's not their job to do so, you know? I'm not doing experiments. I'm a jackass who makes money talking about silly stuff on the internet. That's what I do for a living. Scientists conduct science because that's their job, and their goal in life is to help enrich, like, the community of the people on the Earth by expanding the pool of knowledge of things we understand. Nathan Thompson does his grift. There are tons of people who, like, work at grocery stores and do stuff, and it's just not their job to do that. Now, could you go and do an experiment about the shape of the Earth? You absolutely could. We saw it in the documentary Behind the Curve. Flat Earthers ran an experiment that showed the Earth was round, for instance. You can go do these things, but typically people who are just laymen don't go out of their way to re-examine things that have already been demonstrably proven time and time again. For instance, what would be a good example? Like, I trust medicine, right? I don't necessarily like America's for-profit healthcare system, but at the end of the day, I trust doctors and I trust healthcare professionals in general when they sort of come together collectively and say that certain things are good for you, right? Like washing your hands very regularly when you are dealing with some sort of illness or trying not to catch an illness, right? I've never done an experiment where I did a double-blind study somehow. I don't know how you would do a double-blind study on hand washing because they'd kind of have to know if they're washing their hands or not. Let's say it's washing hands with soap, and some of them have soap and some of them have something that's like soap, but it's not soap. I don't know how that would work. But anyway, you run some sort of double-blind study and then, you know, determine who was more likely to get sick or whatever. I've never done that because it would be incredibly time, energy, and probably monetarily exhausting for me to do so, right? That's why we have people in society who do different roles. There are people who do experiments in their various fields, and that's their job and their expertise. And then there are other people who do all sorts of other things. They're farmers, they're doctors, or police people, or fire people, or whatever, you know? A butcher, baker, candlestick maker. People don't typically engage in experimentation when that's not their job, because most of what people do during the day is their job.
Ever. So, I got to list some of the things Globeheads say over and over and over again, and we're going to go through it in true Globehead fashion with my globe. This thing, I was thinking about if I wanted to sell this, what I would charge. Because it's got Rob Skiba signed this, said this is a scam, and
Who is Rob Skiba?
I'm entertaining offers over 500, to be honest. I could use $500 right now, so. But hey, let's go, because I have too much fun with this. You know, I think this has been touched by more flat earthers than any object in human history.
Cursed. You guys remember that show Warehouse 13? This would be one of the artifacts they have to wrangle up. Like, anyone who touches this all of a sudden gets really dumb and starts questioning obvious facts about the world.
Just so you know, right here, this thing right here. This has been to more flat earth meetups, and more flat earthers touch this and put this on than any artifact in human history. I got it right here, okay? So I want to know if the earth was flat, right? Wouldn't it
I'm glad I'm not the only one wearing a stupid outfit. I would have felt very silly.
be the sunlight all the time? Be daylight all the time? I mean, just look right here, right? Got a flat earth map right here. If the sun was out, I mean, well, no.
Yeah, that's a fair question. Nathan, if the Earth was a flat plane and there was nothing restricting light from getting to all the surface of the known world all at once, how would that work? By your demonstration there, you seem to think that the sun works like a spotlight, but our observations of the sun don't bear that out. It radiates light in all directions. So if it's there, and it is able to get light to reach anywhere on the Earth, it travels a distance much farther, much farther than the surface of the Earth in the first place. Why would it be restricted to only illuminating a very small portion of the Earth, or 50% of the Earth, rather, at one time? That doesn't make any sense based on our observations about how the sun works and how light works.
That's not a good example. That's not a good example. The sun would light up the whole flat earth, okay? Next you gotta explain to me seasons. How would the seasons work on a flat earth?
Again, that's a reasonable question. Doing something with a southern accent doesn't impede the argument actually being made with the words, as opposed to the silly accent that you're doing on top of it. Like, seasons are caused by axial tilt, right? The Earth is tilted on its axis, so during certain parts of the year, certain parts are getting more sunlight per square foot or whatever because of the angle of the sun's rays hitting it, and then in the other part of the year, it is basically reversed. So that's why in the northern hemisphere, you'll have summer in certain seasons, and then in the southern hemisphere, you will have basically the inverse, which is why in places like Australia, they have summer Christmases, whereas in the northern hemisphere, where most people live, you have Christmas in the winter, right? You need to explain this on the flat earth model, and so far I've never heard an explanation that really works. I've heard some of them basically say that there are they think that the sun and the moon are sort of tracing over the Earth in a circular pattern. They're basically going around the radius of the center of the Earth. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well. But they basically say that, like, in different seasons, it sort of switches its path to be longer or shorter. But that doesn't jive with our observations of how stuff works, so...
Because we're on a ball, right? The ball's tilted. Tilted 666 degrees. Okay? It's a coinkydink that is tilted 666 degrees, guys.
Yes.
Coinkydink. You ever heard of a coinkydink? Okay? 666 tilt. Okay? So that causes the seasons while the Earth goes around the sun. So the flat earthers need to explain that. And also, if the Earth is flat and the sun's just going away from me, how come the sun don't shrink into a tiny little dot? Huh?
Yeah, that's how perspective works. So again, he's not really answering these questions. He's just phrasing them in a way that makes them sound silly because he's doing a bad accent. It's not a good argument.
Come on, tells me this, flat earthers. How come the sun don't shrink to a tiny little dot? So, also, boats, when they
Yeah, you can count this as numerology and satanic. That's fine.
disappear behind the curve. The boats that go behind the curve, guys. Come on, everybody knows this. I learned this in 2nd grade. So, also, you guys gotta tell me why the government would lie to me. I mean, the government loves me, okay?
I don't think that's usually the postulation that people like me make when we're asking the question, why would they lie to you? The implication is not that the government is some, like, benevolent construct that is always out to help you, the individual. I know that's not the case. I understand the government lies all the time. But what I'm asking is, usually when the government lies, it's to their own benefit, or at least someone benefits from the lie, right? Like doing experimentation on citizens of the United States. That benefits them in some way, right? However, saying the Earth is flat, how does that benefit the government? Not only the United States government, but every government on the face of the Earth. Who benefits from that lie? That's what's being asked.
Russia, South Korea, those the enemies, okay? The Taliban and the ISIS. Those the real enemies. The Ooga Booga Man. I don't want to run into them. Oh my God, they got the flip-flops in the AKs. So...
Nathan is making fun of, like, being xenophobic here, and sure, that's reasonable, but it's kind of hollow based on the fact that recently he got caught full-on mask off being an anti-Semite and blaming, like, Jewish people and thinking that they're, like, some secret cabal controlling the world. So him, like, making fun of someone else who's, like, you know, demonizing different groups of people in the world for the world's problems. Meanwhile, he's doing the same thing just against Jewish people. It's pretty hypocritical.
Tell me why my government would lie to me. I mean, I don't care, NASA get $52 million a day. That's not a reason to lie, okay? Nobody lies.
Nathan, if the Earth was flat, NASA would still get that much money. They would just be studying the flat Earth as opposed to space and the round Earth. Like, the government gets to decide where their money goes, right? They have the money already. Why does it matter if they're spending it on rockets versus some flat Earth thing? It wouldn't matter.
For money, okay? That's just stupid. Why you gonna tell a lie just to get $52 million a day?
$52 million a day is nothing in government spending. Have you seen our defense budget? Why make up NASA when the military already sucks up a considerable amount of more money than that?
Okay? Let's be real. See, all you guys got are the memes.
My nose
and
is, like,
the
itchy,
YouTubes.
but I can't, like, get to it properly
You
because
guys
of the
just a bunch
gloves.
of memers, a bunch of YouTubers. Y'all don't do your own research. You needs to go back to school, okay? So, and this whole all gravity isn't real thing. Gravity is real. Drop something. Oh my gosh. That is proof positive the Earth is spinning and things are magically attracted to the center of mass.
Not about the spinning thing, but yeah, this does demonstrate that things fall, and then our observations lead people to understand that gravity is a force. It acts as a force, but it's basically like mass attracting other mass because it's bending space-time. I can't pretend I understand that. I'm not a physics student. I'm not any kind of student. So you'd have to ask a physicist for more explanation as to that. But yeah, gravity works as a vector that pulls things towards the surface of the Earth when we're on it because it's a large mass.
Guys, come on. You drop something and it falls. Okay? So, I don't know how that would happen on a flat Earth. Somebody please tell me how that happened on a flat Earth without gravity, because I don't see it happen.
Why do flat earthers believe things fall? It kind of depends. There are some flat earthers, this isn't a huge group, but some of them believe that the flat earth is, and this is crazy, even crazier than a lot of the other flat earth stuff, but they basically believe the earth is accelerating upwards in perpetuity at terminal velocity, thus creating, you know, a seemingly downward force. Although that's funny, because if the Earth was accelerating at that rate for as long as the Earth has been around, I think we would have probably reached a pretty ridiculous speed at this point. And then other ones believe that it has to do with the density of objects versus the atmosphere around them. And this being more dense gets pushed down by the atmosphere. This doesn't really make sense based on the fact that buoyancy or density, like stuff like that, you need gravity to understand it, because the reason it falls, like, let's say it's in water. Pretend this isn't air all around me. Pretend we were in the water, and this gavel is probably dense enough that it would sink, right? I'm gonna guess. Let's say it is for the sake of this, right? It's denser than the water around it, so it's going to sink. But why does it sink downward as opposed to some other direction, right? Gravity. It's because gravity's pulling the denser object to the center of the Earth more strongly than the less dense objects around it. They got Nathan Thompson and Nathan Oakley, which is another Flat Earth Nathan, got in a big argument about this the other day, where they were screaming at each other. Well, more specifically, Nathan Oakley, because Nathan Oakley is a big jerk, and he just swears at people and screams at them. He basically screamed at Nathan about this, because I forget which one was which, but one of them believed in a universal downward vector, something akin to gravity, and the other didn't, and they were arguing about it. It's very funny listening to Flat Earthers yell at each other about their nonsense.
Okay? This is my favorite one. I actually heard people use this. Martin Jackson. I grew up with Martin. He actually said this, okay? Share this video. By the way, you can add your friends to the group. Martin said, you gotta put water in a bucket and spin the bucket around. Okay? That's how you know the shape of the Earth. You put water in a bucket, spin the bucket around, okay? And seriously, the sun flat and the moon flat? What's that? You're telling me that burning ball of fire in the sky doesn't have the exact same shape as the planetary Earth we have with humans and animals and plant life and oceans? Man, that ball of fire gotta be the same size as the Earth.
No one says well, no, not even flat earthers. Flat earthers think the sun is smaller than the Earth. No one thinks the sun is the same size as the Earth. They're saying that, like, when you're coming from a place of, like, materialism and recognizing that the universe functions on a set of natural laws, let's say, the laws of physics, when stuff, like, coalesces in space, it coalesces into a sphere because of gravity, so people are extrapolating out that, you know, in a flat Earth system, you know, it would make sense for things to be the same shape, because they also are probably assuming that there would be some sort of laws of physics that would be operating to cause things to become certain shapes or whatever, as it does in the real world. So they would assume, okay, flat Earth, does that mean everything else is flat? I mean, that's a reasonable question to ask if you're claiming that the Earth is flat.
It's gotta be. That's the only way it goes down. Okay? We got a solar system. My soul has been lured by a solar system, okay? So please tell me what the heck planets are. The flat earth don't know what planets are. You can't look up and see the planets.
You can with a telescope. Honestly, you can see planets with your bare, eyes. It just looks like a point of light in the sky. But you can get telescopes, consumer grade or prosumer grade telescopes, and you can, like, do amateur astronomy. You can go do that, Nathan. Telescope costs, $300, $400. If you wanted a nicer one, you get up into the thousands, but yeah, you could do that.
Planets is obviously there. I don't get it. Okay? You see the planets and they're round. They look round, okay? Anything that's round is a circle, is a ball. I meant to say ball. You got pizzas, them circles, them balls, frisbees, them circles, them balls too. Okay? Anything circular is a ball. My quarter that I got in my pocket, circle. It's a ball. Okay?
People don't assume all circles are balls.
So, why does it even matter, guys? Like, flat earth don't even matter. I mean, I goes to work, I get off, I get my six-pack, I goes home, and I turn on the boob tube, watch some foosball. Okay? That's what matters. You go to work, pay taxes, get your kids in school, make sure they get good grades. This is very important, okay? So, doesn't matter. Flat earth not important. Ain't nowhere in the Bible, nothing like that. So, also, you guys probably don't think we landed on the moon, huh? You guys don't think we landed on the moon 60 years ago? I mean, come on. 60 years ago, we had the telephones. You go like this. You guys remember those telephones?
They're called rotary phones, Nathan.
How the president called the man on the moon. He was like,
yeah, it was very impressive. And honestly, very dangerous. The fact that people didn't, like, before Apollo, was it Apollo 13 was the one that, like, got messed up because of a technical issue and they had to, like, scrap their actual moon landing and head back, and they made the Tom Hanks movie about it with Kevin Bacon and all that. Like, it's honestly impressive that the first two Apollo missions that actually went to the moon went as smoothly as they did, considering the technology that they were working with. But yeah, it was a real danger. They could have died. It would have sucked. But yeah, they could have died. They did do it, though. It was really impressive. It turns out when you're in a Cold War with your geopolitical enemy, you're willing to take really, really stupid risks in order to slap your dick on the table. The table being space.
Moon. Whatever the number for the moon was. Brrr, brrr, brrr. And then the lady...
Nathan, they put a phone, they put a communication device. They probably, honestly, called, a NASA facility, and then they patched the communication with the lunar lander into the phone call. They're NASA engineers. I think they can figure out how to do a party line. It's fine.
with the switching lines? She's switching lines, right? She's like, all right, this line goes White House to the moon. That's how they did it.
It probably went, okay, here's the White House to NASA facility that is also on Earth, and then at the NASA facility, they either literally held the phone up. I would like to have more confidence in NASA engineers that they would figure out how to actually wire the thing into the phone, but they could have just had the phone and held it up to, like, a thing that they were using to communicate with the astronauts.
So, also, I'm getting real sick of hearing there's no dinosaurs, guys. Growing up, dinosaurs was like my best friends, okay? Cartoons about dinosaurs, movies about dinosaurs. I had dreams about dinosaurs in my head.
Nathan, dinosaurs were real. I can say that as someone who, I don't have a particular emotional attachment to dinosaurs. When I was a kid, dinosaurs were never really my thing. My thing was more superheroes and, like Disney princesses. I like those two things quite a bit. And like, I don't know, what else? Time travel stuff, which is very specific, but nonetheless, I liked, you know, Bill and Ted and Back to the Future and stuff. My point is this. I didn't give a shit about dinosaurs. I didn't see Jurassic Park until I was older, which is a good movie, but, like, I don't have an emotional attachment to it. I have no emotional investment in whether or not dinosaurs existed. However, the evidence shows they did. Dinosaurs are real, Nathan. I don't understand why you assume everyone is believing in dinosaurs for some emotional reason and not because we literally have fossils of their bones. Kind of strange.
Now, for all you dinosaur deniers, I know none of us ever found a dinosaur. I don't care. You never find no bones.
I've never been to the Eiffel Tower, but I understand it exists. And I've seen fossils, right? Or at least the casts of the fossils at the museum. You can go to most museums and see casts of the fossils. It doesn't even matter, Nathan, because even if you were in a room with not just a cast of a fossil, but an actual one, you have no expertise as to look at that and determine if it's real or not.
Go to a museum, okay? They got the bones in the museum.
That's right,
You
capitalistic
flat earthers ever been to a museum? Jeez. So, get me all worked up here. Plus, this is a doozy right here, guys. This is a doozy. How the flat earthers gonna explain this? Toilets spin this way in the northern hemisphere, and they spin this way in the southern hemisphere.
That's a pop cultural myth. The Coriolis effect does exist, but it usually has to exist on a larger scale, like hurricanes or typhoons. The toilet thing, not typically the case.
Okay? I seen a toilet, guys. The water goes down the drain like this. And if you watch the toilet water while it swirls, you know proof positive. Proof positive the Earth's a globe and we're spinning. That's how you know. So, I don't even know why we're arguing. If you got a toilet, you know the Earth's a globe. So, woo! Pics from NASA, guys. Gotta check out them pics from NASA. They legit. So, and also tell me where the edge of the Earth is. I mean, space is infinite, but flat Earth has to have an edge. It has to. Space has to be infinite, so I don't have to think about it.
I don't think there's like a conclusive understanding of whether or not space goes on forever. It goes on far beyond we'll ever reach, and it goes beyond, you know, our conception. But like, I don't know if we know if the universe like goes on forever.
And then it's immediately, as soon as you tell me about flat Earth, I gotta talk about an edge.
Yeah, people talk about an edge because unlike space, which is just like defining, you know, existence basically, right? It's a vacuum, right? It's nothing. So people understand that to be able to be a boundless void, more or less. But you're talking about like infinite land forever? So you kind of need to be like, okay, well, where's that come from? You know what I mean?
It's the only thing to talk about. Where is the edge, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. If you can't show me the edge, well then Earth has to be a spinning ball. What else we got? I could just insult you guys all day, because we get a ton of that, but that's just boring. So I want to know why I can't see forever. Okay, you see my eyes? When I get on the ocean and look from California, I should see Japan. Okay? When I'm on the East Coast, when I'm in Jersey, I should look out and I should see Europe.
You should with a powerful enough telescope.
My eyes are strong, guys. I've been using these eyes every day for my entire life as a globehead. They strong eyes. Very strong. I should be able to see forever. So, and how you guys gonna explain the satellites? The satellites, they float above your head magically.
Nope, not magically. They're in orbit of the Earth.
And you can see them, with your eyeballs. Because my eyes are strong, guys. If you ever see a light in the sky going like this, that's a satellite. They're satellite. They're like stars, but they're lights, and they go whoom.
Yeah, sometimes you can see very low orbiting satellites. Not often, but yeah, you can occasionally.
Like that.
Or you can see, like, the ISS occasionally, too.
And you know they're real, okay?
You can actually check when the ISS is going to be above your house, and you can look at it, provided you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of light pollution.
Also, you guys gotta give me time zones. How you explain time zones on a flat earth? I don't know. Time zones don't work on a flat earth.
He's literally just listing legitimate arguments that flat earthers need to explain, but he's just doing it in a silly voice. Does he not know he's self-owning?
They can't work on a flat earth, never will work on a flat earth. Done. Only work on a globe. And seriously, you guys gotta give me a map. Give me a map. I want the whole flat earth all mapped out. So once I actually believe in the flat earth, I got something to show my kids, okay?
Yeah, you should be able to have a map of the Earth if you think that it's a certain way. If you can't map it, does that not mean that you might have an issue with the model that you're working with?
Just be believing in the earth, don't even have a map. I mean, the globe, look, we got a map. It's a good map, okay? It's round. It's got all the countries. And that's it. End of story. So yeah.
It's hot in there. All right, so I ranted for a little bit, but
13 minutes, yeah, that's a bit.
we hear this stuff all the time. It's like,
Okay, so why did none of that actually make you think about any of the things you said? Because a lot of that you didn't have answers for. I'm assuming he's going to try and go over some of it now, but I guess we'll see.
Groundhog's Day in this group. And Bible says love is patient and kind. So I'm not the most patient person, I'm not the kindest person, but I try. I do try. So love's patient, kind, doesn't demand its own way, is not jealous, boastful, proud, or rude, keeps no record of anything anyone ever does wrong. So you make a mistake in the group, it's no big deal. Just say you want to come back, we'll let you on back. It happens. What's up, Charles Kennedy? We love you. What's up, Jamie? We love you, bro. You guys missed the rant, bro. I just ranted for so long. So I'm going to answer all those questions briefly. So I don't want this video to take forever, but I wanted to read you something from The Greatest Lie on Earth. Just a little excerpt. He said, the target of Satan's malevolence is the true church of Jesus Christ. Satan has a secret army of...
You lost me on this one. You just went straight into the religious stuff, Nathan. Before you even want me to buy any of this, you gotta somehow demonstrate to me that, you know, biblical Christianity is accurate. But okay, bold strategy.
devil-possessed adversaries of Christ who do Satan's bidding in working to suppress the gospel of Jesus Christ and enslave the world. In order to achieve those ends, Satan must control the minds of the masses. He must enslave our minds before he can enslave our bodies. Heliocentrism is the foundational belief for enslaving the minds of men.
You know, the New World Order, Secret Lizard Cabal, thought real long and hard about how they could enslave the masses, maybe through some sort of economic system that promises if you work very hard that you too can become one of the ruling elites. But in the meantime, you know, maybe you'll get paid a little less than what you're worth, but it's all worth it in the end, so the meritocracy can go on. They could do that, or they could just tell everyone the shape of the earth is different than it actually is. I don't know. Let's flip a coin. I don't know which one will be easier to enslave people with. Whatever.
So when I said earlier, yeah, this is live right now. So when I said earlier that they say the same thing, it's all programmed Pavlovian response, it's because they're under mind control. And they think just because everyone else around me is under the same mind control, that they're right. And that gives them some superiority, intellectual superiority over flat earthers. It's absolutely pathetic. It's not true. So I got the list of stuff I was ranting about right here.
Nathan, I don't necessarily think I'm intellectually superior to you. I just think you're wrong about the Earth being flat. Demonstrably so. And you're going against all the experts on the entire Earth, do you not see how full of yourself you have to be in order to think that you know better than people who literally spend their entire lives studying this stuff?
Daylight 24/7, okay? The sun is small and localized. So as I was showing you with this experiment, okay, the whole flat Earth doesn't have to light up just because the sun's above it. Okay.
The sun is not a flashlight, it's not a spotlight. It radiates in all directions. So no.
Okay, the sun is small and localized. So look into that. Seasons, work on a flat Earth, okay? The sun's path isn't making a perfect circle. It's called southern declination. The path expands and contracts annually, alternating every 6 months. That's why we have seasons. It's also why we have a sun analemma. Looks like
you would have a significant difference in, oh boy, all sorts of things if that happened, Nathan, that we just don't see.
Ant's got a real big body and a real small head. That's because it's not moving as fast when it's in the northern hemisphere. It's moving faster when it's in the southern hemisphere because the sun does make a perfect 24-hour circuit, 360 degrees, or 360 degrees in 24 hours. So the sun doesn't shrink because of glare, ladies and gentlemen. The sun's going through more and more air as it gets closer to the horizon. So as it's going through all those layers of air, that air is magnifying the sun. If you want to decrease the sun expanding as it comes towards the horizon, increase your altitude. Okay, the higher you go up in altitude, the more you'll see the distance in the diameter of the sun during sunset.
Okay, so the claim is that... Oh, God. Okay, so his claim is that, yes, as the sun gets further away, because in his model, it's not, you know, setting over the horizon. The Earth isn't just rotating away from the way the Earth, or the direction of the sun. In his, he's saying that the sun is literally moving further away from whatever. The sun is moving further away. But the reason that it doesn't look like it's getting smaller, like things do when they get away from your perspective, is because it's being magnified by the atmosphere, and the more layers of atmosphere that get between you and it, the more it is magnified to somehow equal out so it's the same size all the time. Wowzers. That's a cope. Jesus Christ.
So boats disappear? Yeah, they do, because we can't see forever. You gotta zoom in on the boats. So why would they lie? Oh my God, I just told you, it's the foundational belief for all the mind control. Once they get you convinced the Earth's spinning 1,000 miles an hour, but you can't feel it, and it's a big ball, but you can't see the curve, you'll believe anything. You fall for chemtrails. You won't care about the food you eat. You say, oh, well, the government looked into it. It's good. No, 98% of the food in the grocery stores are poison, okay?
Demonstrably untrue.
Start eating organic. Start eating healthy. Go meatless. It's one of the smartest things I've ever done. Memes and YouTube, man. Memes are just pictures with words on them, okay? That's how they
Memes are just pictures with words on them. Nathan Thompson.
Taught you Ursa Globe in school. If we can't use memes, you can't use memes in textbooks either. But memes are just pictures with words. There's no combination of pictures and words that cause people to have some allergic reaction or something. That's just your brain telling you, I can't debunk this information. Let me run to my... It's a meme excuse. It's not a valid excuse, okay? If you see a stupid meme, debunk it, and flat earthers won't use it anymore. Because
that's definitely untrue, because so much of flat earth bullshit has been debunked time and time again, and they continue to use the same arguments. So that's definitely not true.
Flat earthers want to have legit arguments. We want to, you know, we don't want to run around saying things that aren't true. No one in flat earth is trying to do that, and they're definitely not doing that in this group. If they do tag me, send me a screenshot, they're gone. I booted a flat earther yesterday for saying Earth moves upward. I asked him for proof. He didn't have any proof. He just said, I don't need proof. Well, you're gone, okay? That's not how it works.
Nathan, you've literally, like, said things without any proof multiple times in this video. The whole, like, Earth being, or the sun being magnified by the atmosphere, you didn't demonstrate that. You didn't show any evidence that that's the case. You just asserted it. It's the thing you do.
Put the water in a bucket and spin it around. Oh my gosh, Martin, I can't believe you said that. Sun and moon. The moon is obviously flat, guys. It has no properties of a ball reflecting light. The moonlight is cold. Moonlight
is not cold. Light literally cannot be cold. That's not how thermodynamics works.
The features on the sun are the same. Reflective balls have something called a specular highlight. There's a really good
Reflective smooth balls have a specular highlight. The moon is not a smooth ball.
video on the moon.
It's cratered. It's got all sorts of elevation changes. It's not a polished smooth ball. Like, specular highlights are like, and this is, I'm glad I'm wearing this outfit. Okay, so my fist here, this bright spot, this is a specular highlight. If you have a relatively smooth surface that's reflective, then you have areas where the light is going to be reflected more than other areas. It's a specular highlight. That happens on smooth surfaces, right? But the moon isn't that. The moon isn't smooth. It's a sandy, rocky, craggy, cratery surface. It's not going to have a specular highlight because it's diffusing light, because it's all sorts of different directions. It's not a polished, smooth thing.
Being flat, if you need it, message me. I'll get you that video right away. Why does it matter, guys? It matters because this is what they're teaching all the kids in school. Forget that they're stealing our money. Let's just pretend we like paying 40% to the government so that they can go to wars that don't matter in fake space, okay? Let's pretend the money doesn't matter. They're lying to the kids. How's that cool? I mean, isn't it our job as men and also women to protect the kids?
Which is why you got arrested harassing children on a playground, trying to hand them pamphlets for Flat Earth.
The men should protect the women, so it's just nonsense, okay? It's such a selfish argument to say it doesn't matter when everyone around you is being indoctrinated with this silly, demonic globe. So
demonic globe.
You don't think we landed on the moon? No, we didn't land on the moon. Super dumb. Pics from NASA. Those are admittedly composites. The edge.
Composite doesn't mean fake. If I take a panoramic photo of the Grand Canyon, that's a composite image. It doesn't make it fake. It doesn't mean the Grand Canyon doesn't exist.
Edge is assumed on both models. Who cares? Nobody needs an edge. Why can't I see forever? It's called perspective, pyramid vision, lines of convergence. That's just the way your eyes work, okay? Satellites would...
Again, you would be able to overcome that with a powerful telescope, though. You still can't, with a powerful telescope, you know, on I don't know, one coast, look across the ocean and go and look at, I don't know, from like, somewhere in California, you can't look out with a very powerful telescope and see Japan, right? You can't do it because it's over the curvature. Or behind the curvature, rather.
Melt in the thermosphere. I don't want to hear anything about radioactive cooling because the same people who tell you that believe in shooting stars and that the Earth magically melts all the shooting stars, but...
It doesn't melt them. They get burned up in the atmosphere because of friction.
Can't melt the satellites. I just don't get it. Also, gravity isn't...
The satellites are in orbits and going speeds that were determined by their engineers to be safe for the satellites. Also, it depends on if they're in, like, low Earth orbit or if they're in, like, higher Earth orbit. They're dealing with less, like, atmosphere, and the atmosphere is what is actually doing the friction that's causing issues when things try and come into the Earth's atmosphere in the first place.
Real. So, gravity's never been proven. It's a vain religious superstition.
Nope, gravity's been proven many, many times. Cavendish experiments, among others.
To put you on a globe, it was an idea that was sold to you by the heliocentric priesthood. And once you bow down to the gravity, it's all downhill from there, okay? They got you by the balls with the gravity, okay? So, real quick, some things that debunk gravity. The force should be stronger the closer you get to Earth. And I'm not saying a little stronger. There's an inverse square law in Newton's formula. So the closer you get to Earth, let's say you get half the distance to Earth, should be 4 times the gravity, half the distance to Earth. Okay, so tell me where that's observable. Everywhere you go on Earth, no matter what the altitude you drop it, it's 9.8 meters per second. That's
at higher altitudes, it is actually very, very slightly different. But the Earth is huge, so it's difficult to get far enough from the mass that its difference is noticeable. But you can. Astronauts deal with this.
How fast?
That's why they're weightless in space, because they eventually break free of the Earth's gravity, or at least get into orbit where they're in a constant free fall around the Earth.
Fast things fall when you let go. Doesn't matter if you're an inch away from the Earth, 20 feet from the Earth, or 20 miles up. 9.8, okay? Also, terminal velocity. If the force is stronger the closer you get to Earth, how are things reaching a maximum speed and they're just floating down at that speed? That doesn't make any sense. Also, weights should weigh more at the North Pole than the equator. Guys, the Earth's a spinning ball, and gravity is alleged to be the same on all spots on Earth. So,
Yeah.
if it's the same on all spots of the Earth and Earth's a spinning ball, then there'd be no centrifugal force on the North and South Pole near the axis.
Oh, there's very little centrifugal force on the equator because the Earth is not spinning very quickly relative to its size. It's rotating once per day. Like, go sit on a, what do they call those things? On playgrounds, they spin around. Merry-go-rounds? Is that what they're called? I don't know. If you go sit on one of those and someone spins it really quick, yeah, you might feel some sort of centrifugal force that's going to, you know, want to push you to the edge. But if you sit on that thing and someone spins you around at one rotation per day, you're not going to feel anything because that's very slow relative to any size, right? The Earth is huge. I think flat earthers have a problem picturing how big the Earth is.
So everything at the equator would weigh less. Would actually, you increase the weight as you move north or south from the equator. I've also thought about how the sun should make people lighter during the day and stuff, and it's all weird. Gravity is so crazy. I can't believe people still subscribe to it. It didn't make sense to me when I was a kid. I just bought it, you know? I was in...
Not understanding something doesn't mean it's not true necessarily. I'm sorry that you weren't given the resources that you needed to understand these things. Clearly, it led to really bad outcomes for you. But just because you didn't understand something as a child or now as an adult doesn't necessarily mean it isn't true.
Class with everyone, I wanted to pass a test. I don't know. So time zones work real easy. Sun and moon are localized, and they're going around the Earth. That's easy. Give me a map, guys. I started flat earthing 2 years ago, and I spend all day telling you guys about water. I don't have time to go map the Earth. Okay, I've done over 100 meetups with flat Earth. I've met over 1,000 flat earthers.
I'm sure it's a time concern and not the fact that you just literally can't do it.
I've confronted NASA employees at Starbucks.
And you got kicked out for harassing them. Fun how that worked out.
Done tons of interviews with all major news media outlets. MSN, Google News, the New York Post, Daily Mail Australia, The Sun in the United Kingdom. They're all talking about this group. They're all talking about flat Earth. And they're all kind of making fun of it. But I don't care, okay? Because not everyone that hears people making fun of flat Earth makes fun of flat Earth. Some people hear about flat Earth and hear about people making fun of it and they go research it. I knew that would happen. I've already met people like that. Say, hey, I walked into a room, everyone was making fun of you. I said, what? This guy believes the Earth's flat? Actually looks into it. He was a nurse. He told his boss, I'm not giving vaccines anymore. You can fire me. I'll see you later. Okay? So
ruining my career to own the Globers.
That's why it's important. It's because this globe Earth system has infiltrated the medicine. It's infiltrated the food.
The efficacy of vaccines would have absolutely nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. You're just trying to big tent conspiracy all your wacko beliefs so that if you can convince someone of one of these things, that you can try and convince them of all of these things.
Infiltrated the water and the skies with the chemtrails, the political system, all the movies, all the video games. It's all death and destruction and calamity. So, I love you guys. I really do. I'd do anything for you guys. Just remember, no cursing, no insults in the group. If you think this was an educational video, do me a solid. Add a bunch of your friends in the group. A lot of people that don't come in and realize it's flat right away, they kind of dig their feet into the ground with the globe Earth model. And that's cool, you know, as long as, you know, they don't do too much preaching. And go do some experiments firsthand. I would love to see your firsthand experiments. I've yet to see any. And I've yet to see any that prove globe from the globe Earthers. So, guys, we have 100,000 members in the group. And everyone thinks we're just...
Not anymore. His page got banned.
Memes and YouTubes. No, we got people that were ex-NASA employees in the group. Marine snipers.
He has a new one now, though. Fewer followers, though.
In the group. Pilots in the group. Bob Nodell. Brett Bagley. Pilot LX. Look at the FAA. They train pilots to fly on a flat Earth. I mean...
That's untrue. That's, someone actually... I forget who. Gosh, I gotta figure out what video that was. Basically, Nathan has this claim that, like, the pilots get trained on a flat Earth simulator, And someone else who does debunks, I don't remember if it was Simon Dan or one of the other myriad of people who deals with, like, flat earth stuff, they actually contacted the facility Nathan is talking about when they did that, and they asked him about it, and they're like, what? No, what are you talking about? They basically just said Nathan made this up. So, that's fun.
What's up, Josh? I love you, bro. There's a lot of good people in Flat Earth. I'm really thankful that I one, realized the Earth is flat, and two, made the decision to just go meet you guys. One of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Just leave it all behind, jump in this car, and go Flat Earth meetup to Flat Earth meetup to Flat Earth meetup. And that was after I did all the experiments. So I did over a dozen experiments on the moon, the stars, the North Star stationary, water, has no convexity, cold moonlight. I mean, there's a ton of it. So, Albany, I'm in Louisville right now. So I love you guys. Keep it real. Be patient and kind with all the redundant questions. That's why I kind of want to make this video. It's just, guys, I'm not the best at it. I get frustrated. I do this all day. So, it's just, we have the truth. And let's love them to death, okay? And props to all the admins and moderators who keep this group great. We love you guys, okay? Love you. Peace out. Keep it flat.
Oh, God, Nathan. So, yeah, Nathan doesn't understand the problems with his own stuff, and when he's confronted with legitimate questions, just rolls his eyes and's like, I don't need to do that. Yeah, you do. Stupid. Moving on. Let's take a look at the bingo card, and then we will read some bits messages. Sorry, I had to take that mask off. It was kind of hurting. I gotta find a better way of adhering it to my face. Let's see. We had Flat Earth. We had numerology. Numerology, which is right next to Flat Earth. We had Satan, satanic, because of the 666 thing. He didn't say the words deep state, so I'm not counting that. Deep state is a pretty specific thing. It'll probably come up in the QAnon videos we're doing later, though, so. Peep that mother effing Gleason. Are there any other ones? I'll say that's not how science works because of him, like, asking other people to go out and, like, do random tests. Did he say chemtrails? I did 666. I already did Satanism. Spurious symbology. I already counted numerology, so I'm not going to count it for both of them. Did he say chemtrails? I don't remember him saying chemtrails. Not fake sky or sun, because he doesn't think they're fake. He just thinks they're close. He did say chemtrails. Okay, I missed that one. Chemtrails. Coolio. Okay, let's go to the bits messages and then we'll move on. Keithfert488 with 100 bits. Hey, Hannah, just watched your video on the Trump call. I didn't know narcissists that deluded actually existed. He really can't imagine a world in which he lost. Yeah, it's wild. That was, like, conspiratorial enough that it could have been on this show. The Otaku X with 100 bits. You may be wearing a stupid outfit, but at least you're not stupid on the inside, too. Aw, thank you. Enreath with 20 bits. The sun is flat, too, Hannah. Duh. Enreath, it's like a flashlight. The original Lila. But did you not know the sun is basically a laser pointer? We're all cats confirmed. Towing24. I'm pretty sure Nathan is taking... Excuse me, the mask off again. I'm getting a lot of West Georgia African-American. Oh, I don't know if he was doing that intentionally. Log-based potato, thank you for following. Nixus, thank you for subscribing. Look at this dog and cat. Not sure that's an attempt at a southern accent. All right, if you say so. Wing the Ultimate Nug with 20 bits. Things are relative, so if you drop an apple, relative to the apple, it's not falling. The ground is going up towards the apple. Gravity is not a force, it's space-time bending. I know, it's described as a force often, though. Tellurian Katrin with 20 bits. Hannah, I'm mesmerized by your diamond goggle things. Also, if the flat Earth is dome continuously accelerating through space, are we just living on a space bullet? Pulp Free Fiction, thank you for resubscribing. Just arrived and I'm getting yelled at by a globe. This is going to be interesting. Bardlock Moses with 100 bits. His fake accent sounds like a cartoon crow from the 50s. Yoinkith McGee, thank you for following. The Shadow Witch with 50 bits. If I'm lucky, Thompson will move like usual. Was in South Carolina into Virginia, and he is really close to Tennessee, and his next logical move would be right now in my area. I'm just saying, if that happens, there may be some bad shit happening to Nathan, not necessarily involving a baseball bat, but maybe. But it will happen if I see him in Minecraft. No, don't even jokingly threaten people. That's not okay. The Shadow Witch with 20 bits. Lucille needs company, Hannah. She is lonely. Enreath, 20 bits. It's hot in here because you filled the globe with hot air, Nathan. Literally and figuratively. Bardlock Moses with 100 bits. The Bible tells you how to perform an abortion, too. Big Yikes Frankie with 42 bits. Don't be a sheep, but also the Lord is my shepherd. Big Yikes Frankie, thank you for resubscribing with a 2-month streak. Says, love you, Chrome Mother. Thank you for the lovely community and quality content, of course. Thanks for being part of it. Enreath with 30 bits. I'm just imagining the sun flying around wildly in a lopsided circle while still in the atmosphere above us. The Shadow Witch with 100 bits. Okay, Craig, Reds, Team, Simon Dan, and others have blocked and removed this jackass because of his opinions on other things. On one being your existence. You really should not cover this effer. He's an anti-science, trans, vaccines, and total crazy. I'm just saying that the debunkers have said no to him. I love your channel. Please ignore him. I can understand their viewpoint. I find it entertaining, but I get where you're coming from. Nixis with 100 bits. This dude sounds like he's world building in D&D and his players are pointing out contradictions. Enreath with 30 bits. The memes in textbooks were backed up by facts though, Nathan, not God feels. Wing the Ultimate Nug with 40 bits. I kind of agree with Nathan. In America, when you look at the ingredient list, there's a billion things. Many other countries, you don't need all these chemicals for no reason. It's also partly why our food have so many calories. That's because of high fructose corn syrup, mostly. But, okay. And added sugar and stuff. But usually that's through high fructose corn syrup. Canadian left support with 20 bits. One of my favorite arguments against the flat Earth from Neil deGrasse Tyson is that one of the moon phases would be a flat line in the middle of the moon if the Earth was flat because of how it reflects the sun. Big Yikes Frankie, you don't know journalism until you harass someone at Starbucks. Big Yikes Frankie again. Since when is the Bible not violence, death, and calamity? Costco Chicken, thank you for following. Look at this dog and cat. Cameras compositing images and zoom in on the boats? Nixis with another 100 bits. Just pronounce it Nikki. Okay, Nikki. Oh, Woohoo Lulu with 100 bits. Hello, I missed seeing you and chat during the break. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to all of you if you missed me yesterday saying that during Chud Watch. The Trump lawyer who was part of Trump's phone call has resigned from her law firm. Beautiful. Misattribution of coincidence with the 666 degree coin. Quinkydink. Yeah, that's fair. Misattribution of coincidence. Shadow Witch. Okay, sorry, I would never threaten violence tonight, Hannah. Hey, you know, it's just be careful, you know? Cameras for bingo. I'm gonna say no. Because he was saying that you can bring ships back into focus with certain lenses, and that is true to an extent. He's just applying that knowledge incorrectly and assuming that always means it's that. His problem isn't necessarily with understanding how cameras work. His problem is misunderstanding that, like, that's not how it works all the time. So. I don't know. Do I want to do... Let's see some of this where we go one, we go all nonsense. Tends to be QAnon stuff. I don't know if any of this will be good. When I do QAnon stuff, it's generally like a grab bag, right? Hello, Yoinkith McGee. You're new here? Welcome. Make sure you get a bingo card if you'd like. We're playing Tinfoil Tuesday Conspiracy Bingo. So... with the QAnon stuff, it tends to be iffy on whether or not the content's interesting. let's take a look at some of the stuff I put aside for it.
It's your boy Aaron Notes, also known as Aaron Michael Kyle. I'm gonna take this mask off, even though it means Mary, Sydney, or Mary, Aaron, Sydney, Christina to me. I'm gonna wear the scarf of truth and tell you, I know the CIA's testing me.
You should probably wait until they say QAnon to do it, but I'll let you know when you can.
A commercial just came on where Kevin Sorbo was in the movie, and that movie's about me. And the child goes, I'm not adopted anymore. And there's a guy that's an angel, and he comes to talk to Kevin Sorbo and says, I'm here to help you. And he says, oh, I don't need your help. And the angel goes, really? And then he punches him and knocks him out. You know what I'm saying?
He thinks that a Kevin Sorbo movie is about him?
Because we all do need that help. The hatred, it'll kill a man from the inside. I felt that hatred for the government when they made that movie about me. It hurt so bad. Like, they were giving me hope, saying that I had a chance to see my baby's mom again and my baby. I love them.
Oh, this guy needs an intervention with some mental health professionals immediately.
I always have and I always will. I've loved them and will love them with all my heart. And I've learned the right way now. I guess this is another lesson I need to learn. I blew up and I played Brother Lynch, Sloke to the Brain. And I said, fuck the government all over the place. And I feel so bad about it. So I'm going to have to redo it. Again, all that progress that I made of lifting people up. And here I am getting mad. And they don't even know what's going on. I'm sitting there yelling, fuck the government. I'm going to blow up the White House. Blah, 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 blah. When really, maybe it was just a test for me. To keep my cool. And show them that I'm better than that. So that's what I'm going to do. I messed up once. I'm not going to do it again. So I know this test. I know how to pass it now. And even though they make fun of me and give me hope, false hope, because my baby's mom blocked me. I was wrong, and she doesn't deserve a shitty person like me.
Wowzers, this is the most depressing Tinfoil Tuesday video I think we've ever watched. Yikerinos. I hope someone in this guy's life gets him the help he needs, because that's incredibly sad. Wowzers. Let's find a less depressing QAnon video, if such a thing exists.
Check it out. Big shout out to Miss Swan, Miss Pamela. I love you to death. I got something special just now. Got something special. Shouldn't show that. I opened it. I haven't opened it, but I see the book is right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dig in. I did take the coin out. Whew. Beautiful Patriot package. I'm excited, people. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm taking the book out right now. Look at this. I know I have my phone. I got this Arcturian bolt of light coming out of my phone. So, excuse me, but I have the kid by the side of the road by none other than 107, Mr. 107, 17, or whatever, you know. I'm ecstatic. This is so beautiful. Check it. Okay. Another beautiful Christmas package. This is so beautiful with the packaging. I really appreciate that. Look at this. I got definitely a Trump flag or Trump Kennedy. One of these beautiful flags I will represent. All Patriots must listen. Chapter 3, Q Sentinels team versus Osiris 17. Osiris 17 teams. Q Sentinels team versus Osiris 17 teams. Okay. Silver in chapter 4, and that's just 4 chapters. This is beautiful. Silvery threads and I'm gonna check it out of the package.
This guy had a previous channel deleted, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you can, I don't know if you can see.
Abe's Q-tips
Donald
too.
Trump. And on the back, it's got the eagle. Let's see if I can get it in there. It's got the eagle with the signature. Yep, it's beautiful. And Donald Trump. It says Commander-in-Chief.
You ever wonder the kind of people who buy those shitty commemorative coins for the presidents whenever, you know, you've seen them, like, buy this once-in-a-lifetime commemorative coin. We find the guy who buys all of them. Great. Probably not all of them. I don't think he bought an Obama one.
Commander-in-Chief. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love you to death. And, yeah, I'm really ecstatic. So I'm going to get to this soon. So much to read. So much to stay in prayer.
Message from the Galactic Federation.
A message from the Galactic Federation of Light. Stand together in 2021. Hello, this is Ashtar, and I'm joined by a few key members of the Galactic Federation of Light. And these members are what we refer to as Foreseers, or Seers, of the
Yes, this counts as aliens on the bingo card.
next realm of light that is coming across your Earth. They are members of a higher council that we, the members of the Galactic Federation of Light, frequently confer with, particularly when we're looking at likely timelines. We seek their counsel and their advice as how to steer humanity, how to guide you all along these probable timelines in order to yield the most positive outcome for humanity. For this is always our primary focus, goal, and objective. For your well-being is our mission. Your ascension is our grand mission, and we stand with you side by side. As these timelines shift, change, and evolve, you are all aware of the degree to which change takes hold on your planet. And we wish to take this opportunity to remind you that in many ways you are the champions of this change. You are the navigators of these timelines. For it
This is what's so sad to me about so much QAnon stuff. Because this is on the QAnon page, right? It's people who are teetering or full-on dealing with some sort of mental illness that feel insignificant in some way and possibly due to some of the effects of their mental illness have been ostracized by family or society or their workplaces or whoever, right? And they seek some sort of respite from that feeling of apartness, from feeling alone, from feeling unimportant, from feeling insignificant. And then people like QAnon, absolute a-holes, come around and say, you know, stuff that QAnon says, like, oh, you know, the President Trump, all your problems are because of satanic Democrats and celebrities, and it's all going to get fixed because the cabal is evil and they're going to get taken down, and all that stuff. And then on top of that, you get sort of Q sub-grifters like this, who come around and they're like, not only that, but you think you're insignificant? Life and existential dread is nipping at you daily? Don't worry. I, from the Galactic Federation, am actually telling you that not only are you important, but as you follow this wackadoo conspiracy theory, it actually makes you one of the most enlightened and important people on the face of the earth. It's just... It's playing into, like, every insecurity these people have, and it is so sickening to watch. No, this does not count as ancient wisdom, because it's not ancient, and it's not wisdom.
is your very collective thoughts, beliefs, desires, and focus that take you along one timeline or another. This is why we take every opportunity to remind you of the powerful creator beings that you are, and, more importantly, of why it is so important for you to focus on the future that you wish and desire for yourself and for humanity.
By the way, is this what the Galactic Federation aliens look like? Are they all like buff Aryan Fabio lookalikes, or just this one? Just curious.
More will awaken to the truth. Let us now shift to 2021. This year ahead will in some ways mirror 2020, in that there will be many changes. Much will be brought to the surface at an individual level, as well as collectively at a societal level.
And other fortune cookie sayings. This is not a specific prediction. You're literally saying things will change. Things will be revealed on a personal level, which happens to everyone all the time over the course of various years. And on a societal level, we'll have some sort of new understanding. Yeah, the zeitgeist changes all the time. This is not a prediction. It's like Nostradamus on steroids and meaning nothing.
Many are awakening and waking up to the truth and the hard reality that exists on the earthly plane. And by hard reality, we are referring to the forces that shape humanity, that control humanity. As you open your eyes, as more of your fellow humans begin to understand more fully and clearly the true forces at play and what is truly at hand, we see that the collective will begin to move forward in lockstep. As has been the case in 2020, that there will be some ongoing division among humanity. We see that the
bold prediction that sometime humanity will face some sort of division, as opposed to normally when humanity gets along very well and has no kind of conflict.
Slowly and gradually, humanity and opposing groups will slowly begin to unite. As you awaken, you understand that you are more powerful when you stand side by side and shoulder to shoulder than when you stand apart. For the dark forces wish to keep you separate, and they will do and create any situation they can to keep you divided. It is important that you stand together and that you stand up for the truth. More truths will be revealed to you throughout 2021. These truths will serve to gradually and slowly awaken more of you. And it is important to those of you who are light warriors and light workers
this music is making me
come
sleepy.
together and that you help those who are awakening. For you must understand, they are awakening in a much harsher reality than you awoke to. For the reality of 2021 in some ways will feel far more raw. The hard truth, as we've mentioned, will begin to surface. Humanity will unite and will become far, far more powerful of a voice than ever before. You must use your voice more than you ever have. This is the voice of calm and peace. But it is also the voice that demands truth and that will demand far greater justice for all. For there will be those who will seek to take away even more of your freedoms and more of your rights through the guise of this virus or an offshoot of this virus. Hold the light and the peace. Many of you will be compelled and called to begin to reveal the truth to those around you who are still asleep. Our advice to you, our dear ones, is to do this while holding them in light and peace. And when you speak the truth, it is not ever to be done with any fear, but rather with calm reason.
This has been for almost 6 minutes, and they've said nothing of substance whatsoever. This is borderline impressive in how little they're saying over a long period of time.
For you must understand that those who are awakened, while they may have escaped one fear, they are perhaps awakening to a new fear. And so I ask you, my lightworker friends, my brothers and sisters of the light, to hold those who are awakening in a place of calm and peace. Help them understand the power they have within them and how this power can be united. For humanity is unstoppable, and you will continue to be unstoppable as you begin to unite in 2021.
Yeah, I'd mark word salad on this one. Let's take a look at the bingo sheet real quick. Just a quick bingo break. Word salad, aliens. I think that was it.
There will be situations that will be presented to you that will cause you to stand up and unite more so than ever. You can unite behind a common purpose and cause, but this must all be done peacefully. Lightworkers must stand united. We will take this opportunity to remind you.
I'm gonna speed this up so we're not here all day.
That as lightworkers, you must stand together and united before you can be the teachers and the ralliers for the rest of humanity. It is important that you support your fellow lightworkers, even if their opinions or ideas may be somewhat different than your own. You must remember the grand cause and mission at hand, and that is...
They did talk about aliens. This is from the Galactic Federation. That would make them aliens.
The ascension of humanity through the most light-filled timeline that you desire. How you get there is up to you. We will hold your hand, we will guide you, we will always shine the light and show you the way. But it is up to you to walk together and walk the path of the light. It is the only way for true unity, is a unity of hearts at an energetic and spiritual level. 2021 is the year of lightworkers. For the first half of 2021, we do see that there will be more restrictions, but these will gradually lighten. But it is you, our lightworkers, who can accelerate this opening up, this justice, this freeing of humanity that is at hand. So 2021 is your year. It is the year of your voice, of your truth. It is time for you to not only stand in the light, but to move forward in the light. And, as we've mentioned, you will be called to move forward in many different ways. And some of you may be called to move forward for a different cause, but it will all be for the benefit of humanity. The cause that you will stand behind will be that which resonates in your hearts. You must do and act as your heart compels you to do. Know and trust that you are being ushered into the movement and the cause that needs you, your energy, your knowledge, and your leadership at that time. And, as you are all compelled to begin to more fully carry out your mission, your life purpose, the puzzle pieces that compromise ascension will come together far more easily. So this is the year of rising up. It is the year of opening your eyes, of demanding truth, of letting the truth be known. But prior to your ascension, the road will be wrought with the need for freedom and justice. These must be achieved before ascension can occur. It is not the other way round. But you are the ones that will bring about this freedom and justice, and it is together where you will find the greatest strength and the greatest momentum forward. Do not allow others to divide you, my dear lightworkers, for they are trying very, very hard. We have seen some cracks in the lightworker community, but these can be patched up and sealed if you all learn to see through any minor differences and stand and walk and speak in unity. We will be coming to you again with more messages about 2021. As the year progresses, as events unfold, we will guide you. Know that we always hold you in light. We watch over you with love, with pride, and know that you are all honoured and cherished. We thank you all for your work. The Galactic Federation of Light, channeled by Kate Woodley. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Wowzers, that's, culty, to say the least. What is up with that? That's creepy. That's incredibly creepy. Anyway, that's enough of this guy.
Hey everybody, this is Robert. Today, I was just listening. I was on Twitter a few minutes ago, and you know, when you get to Twitter, to certain area, you can see the liberal kind of news and videos, and that made me come up here and make this video. Yeah, I just have to say, it makes me so freaking sick and angry, extremely angry, to listen left, the liberals, and complain they transition to a new president. To them, it's not going how it should go. That you know, they saying that they're not getting the information, and transition is not how it should be.
Yeah, the various Trump agencies aren't allowing the Biden administration to do their transition properly, which is dangerous, by the way. Stuff in 2000 and the lack of transition going on because of the election disputes are part of the reason 9/11 happened, so that's great.
From what they talk about, all the departments, they not giving them information, and like, you know, all those departments supposed to transition, which is nothing supposed to transition to me, and all.
Certain agency released funds for the transition, but Biden is not getting, what are they called? Security briefings. You're supposed to get a daily security briefing, and they haven't been giving it to Biden.
But I know Trump is playing games with them, like a chess, and it's a threat to national security. My freaking ass, you are threat to national security of this country. You done it for many years, selling our country, you idiots. And so I was listening to them, the pre-elect, I call it, you know who, guys.
Jesus Christ. Oh no, there's another one of these.
We, the Pleiadians consciousness, come forth in love and truth to greet you. We bring forth the energy and light of our civilization to support you in your period of ascension.
What is this shit? Why? Okay, let me get some of these bit messages. Cyber crimes, thanks for following. Logarth, okay, this guy needs mental help, thinking THR government, yeah, that guy needed help. Big yikes, Frankie, with 25 bits, we need much better systems in place to support and care for the mentally ill. This is downright crushing. Yeah, that guy was very sad. Teddy HL, thank you for following. Big yikes, Frankie, with 25 bits. I don't think that's an alien, guys. I think that's just what British people sound like. Enreath with a link to Nordic aliens. They're like Aryan guardians. People use them to explain aliens. It's just racism plus alien nuttery. Plus they were invented when pop culture made aliens look like humans. The day the earth stood still. Okay. MMO addicted. Oof, according to exit polls, Georgia will be close. Yeah. Enreath with 20 bits, explain angels, not aliens. Jalen Jean with 20 bits, I predict a prediction. Not that fragile with 100 bits. This reminds me of those creepy YouTube hypnosis videos that are supposed to make you believe that you're actually a snake or a dog or My Little Pony character. I didn't know that was a thing. Comrade Devin with 20 bits. I don't know if you know MC Chris. He's a nerdcore rapper most famous for Fet's Vet and I Want Candy. That said, QAnon video reminded me of his situation the last year or so. His wife had some kind of mental break and got sucked into QAnon stuff from YouTube. She got really deep into it and started being a danger to their son. MC Chris ended up having to divorce her and get custody of their son. She has supervised visitation. Stuff like that is why I'm glad YouTubers cracking down. It's a virus. Yeah, it's real bad. Teddy HL with $10. This money graciously afforded you by the Galactic Federation propaganda wing. Thank you. Bardlock Moses with 100 bits. Is this a Calm ad? You have to tell us if it's an ad. It's not an ad. AshyBoo74 with 20 bits. I got some screenshots for potential new emotes if you'd like them. Okay. You can send them to me on Twitter at Hannah Reloaded. Steve Clout, thank you for following. Dirges with 100 bits. Quote, there shall be in a time be rumors of things going astray, there shall be a great confusion as to where things really are, and nobody will really know. Where lieth those little things with the sorts of Raffia work base that has an attachment at the time, a friend shall lose his friend's hammer, and the young shall not know where lieth the things possessed by their fathers, and their fathers put there only just the night before about 8 o'clock. The Life of Brian. MMO addicted to 20 bits. Is he Polish? The accent seems familiar. No idea.
Is anybody else freaking sick and tired of all these people gathering around having conversations about coronavirus while millions of people are losing their businesses, their minds, their children, their family members, and yet the death rate is like 1%?
Can I just point out that this lady is already on oxygen, meaning that if she was to catch coronavirus, she would almost certainly die, and she's, like, rallying against protections that are keeping her alive?
I mean, what the hell here? Is anybody else on this same page as I am? I'm fucking fed up. God bless.
Oh, lady. Oh, that's loud.
The great awakening, we are blessed and burdened with a choice.
I'm gonna say this counts as QAnon as a source because they have a bunch of Q stuff.
Don't you forget, with open arms, we are waiting. Don't you forget, with open arms.
This is like a QAnon song. The Meru Sama with Bingo. Nice. Let me see your card.
One rises up, we all stand tall. That's where we go on, we go on. Together we run.
Hi, we are from Kansas. We are followers of the Lord Jesus Christ. And we are a part
Yep,
of the
you got it. Congrats.
We are children of the Lord. And together we are united.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Okay, I'll write your name down unless you want me to gift it to someone else.
I'm from the UK, where we go one, we go all.
Belgium, where we go one, we go all.
Hello. We are from West Africa, Ghana. This is the Great Awakening, the restoration of equal justice under the law will soon bring a new level of freedom and prosperity to the world.
Shit.
We trust the plan. Fellow patriots around the world, we are in this together. Where we go one, we go all. Where we go one, we go all. Where we go one, we go all.
Australia here, where we go one, we go all.
Sweden, where we go one, we go all.
I'm from Holland, and where we go one, we go all.
Native Oregonian, permanent resident of Australia.
At least Americans aren't the only ones who
Where
get,
we go one,
you know,
we go
pulled
all.
into this bullshit. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably bad.
Here in Indiana, where we go one, we go all. From Miami, Florida, where we go one, we go all.
Coming from Perth, Western Australia, down under. Where we go one, we go all.
Montpellier, France. Where we go one, we go all.
Philippines, where we go one, we go all.
Thailand, where we go
You want me to gift the sub to Snowstorm Fox? Is that correct?
Where we go one, we go all.
Hey there from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are the world and
We'll do the bingo card in a sec.
We go one, we go all. Bulgarian in the Netherlands.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Saskatchewan, Canada. Where we go one, we go all.
Asunción, Paraguay, where we go one, we go all.
Greetings from Turkey, where we go one, we go all.
Milan, Italy, where we go one, we go all.
Greece, where we go. There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
There's the gift sub.
Where we go one, we go all.
From Spencerville, Ohio, where we go one, we go all.
It's horrifying
We are
how
the
many
world.
QAnon believers there are.
The world is watching. Where we go one, we go all.
By the way, in case anyone's here, I still have some gift subs from previous bingo wins that people haven't claimed. Raznet, Jarrett, Runefar, KR Goss, you all have gift subs.
And just remember, we are all in together, my friends. Where we go one, we go all.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm in the northeast of England. Where we go one, we go all.
West Virginia, where we go one, we go all.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Where we go one.
Odie Vera, thank you for following.
From Rwanda.
And it's Ken Spector, thank you for following. It just means globally we're all stupid. Americans started a multiple decade-long war over the same amount of deaths that happened in a day with COVID. Yeah. Bert2052, thanks for following.
And remember, where we go one, we go all.
Okay, that's enough of these people. I'm over the QAnon stuff for today. Let me see where the bingo card's at. If you care. Someone already won, but, you know, people like to play for funsies. So we have QAnon claimed as a source somewhere on here. QAnon claimed as a source. I think that was it. KR Goss said to donate to a random person. Can do. Someone's about to get a gift sub. Randomly. Durges, you get the gift sub. Let me make sure I mark off that name. KR Goss. And then we will get back at it. Sorry, I'm a little disheveled today. I'm a little out of, Great. What milestone are you going to do the Rem Lazar cosplay at? Depends on if someone sends me a costume. Maybe I'm getting pretty close to 5,000 Twitch followers. Maybe there. Let's go with this guy. This guy has had multiple YouTube channels. They all keep getting deleted for who knows what reason with these conspiracy people. And he always sits in front of his water heater and complains about flat earth and anti-vax and all sorts of other nonsense. So let's see what he has to say today.
What are the three most honest words on this earth that a heliocentric priest is unable to utter from their mouths? I don't know. This is the litmus test.
I say I don't know all the time, especially in regard to, like, when we're doing flat earth debunks, and I don't know, like, the physics and the math, right? I don't know how to do math. I don't know how to do trigonometry, which is necessary to figure out, like, curvature and stuff. There are other people on YouTube who do flat earth debunks and stuff who do that. I'm completely capable of saying I don't know when I don't know something, which is relatively often, and that's completely fine. What I do know, though, is that the Earth isn't flat. So, if you want me to say I don't know on that one, I can't, because I do know. Sorry.
On how you can determine if the scientismist that is preaching to you is being honest with you.
Scientismist.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Multiple suffixes stuffed onto the end of a word. That's the sign of intelligence right there.
When you say, what's at the center of Earth? And they start babbling about molten iron and other precious metals and
I mean, to my understanding, that's what geologists think the center of the Earth is made of. It also generates the Earth's, like, magnetic field because it's, like, rotating metals and stuff, because it's, like, magma, basically, caused by the pressure and everything of the Earth around it, right? That's our best understanding. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean other people who spend their entire lives studying the makeup of the Earth's crust don't have reasons for believing this thing.
Materials at the core of the Earth, when no one has ever been deeper than 8 miles from the surface of Earth, that is a scientismist preaching to you.
No, it's them sharing their findings from the experimentation they've done. You don't necessarily need to directly see something to be able to make predictions and test said predictions.
Now, people are going to try to come up with all these ground radar arguments and that. How those get destroyed is when you say, okay, what's at the center of Jupiter? And these people will look you straight in the face and try to tell you that they know what Jupiter is made up of.
I'm pretty sure Jupiter is one of the gas giants, isn't it? So gas, whatever gas is the makeup of Jupiter, I don't know.
How exactly? They'll try to tell you about all these probes
Jupiter
and
has
everything
a rocky
that
core?
NASA's sent.
Okay.
They just will refuse to give you any proof of any such science they claim. When you ask a flat earther, how big is Jupiter? How far away is Jupiter? What is space really? You know what any honest flat earther will tell you? I don't know.
An honest flat earther wouldn't be a flat earther because being a flat earther is either ignorance or dishonesty. You cannot be a flat earther and say you're being truthful because your entire worldview is based around something that is not true in the first place. Even if you're lying unintentionally, you still wind up lying all the time.
The best I can tell you is they are lights in the sky.
You're a guy and again, I don't mean to insult people's intelligence, and that's not what I'm intending to do here. But the reason that you are able to say, I don't know what that is, that's just lights in the sky, is because you're not someone who's spent their entire life studying these things. There are people who have spent years to gain the knowledge to be able to investigate these things using the tools other humans have developed, telescopes and other ways of looking at, like, other planets and measuring them and doing readings on them, sending satellites out into space so we can take readings of different things. Like, just because I can't do that, and because this guy can't do that, doesn't mean no one can do that. I also can't do open heart surgery. That doesn't mean there's no one out there who knows how to do open heart surgery. There are plenty of people who do. Everyone has different jobs and things that they do in their life. They spend time learning their craft, whatever it happens to be, whether you're sitting in front of a water heater talking about flat Earth, or you're a jackass like me wearing shiny bullshit and talking about why this stuff isn't true, right? We all have our things, and don't assume that you know better than the people who spent their entire lives doing the thing. I'm not even telling you you have to believe individual peoples in that group, because people can be dishonest. I'm saying, look at the process as a whole of science and understand that it is very competitive in nature, and that people check against other scientists, and understand that that process brings out our best understanding of a concept at the time. Like, to say that the entirety of the scientific community, from physics to astronomers, all sorts of people, engineers who work on stuff like satellites, consumer, or for the government, whatever, saying that they are all in on some conspiracy, that stuff is fake, is ridiculous and baseless. You can't just say that.
When someone asks, how do eclipses work on the flat Earth? Again, the heliocentric religious priests will tell you, oh, because there's a curved shadow on the moon and blah, 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 and this and that. A flat earther will tell you, well, I can tell you due to selenelian eclipses and other instances that a globe in front of a direct light, one light source, putting a globe in front of a globe does not produce a curved shadow. I can tell you that much. So
putting a round object between you and a light source would create a round shadow. Shadows are the shape of the silhouette of the thing that is creating the shadow. What?
That destroys your argument right there. But outside of that, I don't know. I can't get up there to scientifically observe for myself. So anything I can tell you will only be a theory or assumption. This is how you know.
Hypothesis. Theory in science doesn't mean what it means colloquially.
No, the people in the shape of the earth debate, who's being honest and who isn't. A flat earther, if they're being honest, will have no problem telling you, I don't know.
Someone should tell Nathan Thompson, because that dude thinks he knows everything about the flat earth model, even though none of it makes any sense.
I can tell you all the things I do know. I do know I can scientifically prove that float glass is manufactured by pouring one liquid on top of another and allowing it to cool. Proving
there's nothing funny about the tools
by
of capitalism.
Being scientifically measured, creating a flat, level surface.
I have no idea what he's referring to right now. What's a float glass?
Look into mirrors and how the slightest degrees of curvature in a mirror will distort the image.
The earth
Yet
is
how
the
many
mirror.
times do we see in nature constantly a perfectly flat lake creating a perfectly mirrored image of the mountain behind it?
The curvature of the earth is so gradual because the earth is so large that in terms of a small reflection, it's not going to make any sort of deviation, assuming the water is very still. Again, I think flat earthers have a huge issue comprehending the size of the earth and how gradual the curve is when we, like, remove stuff like, you know, curvature is different than elevation, so often you're dealing with elevation differences anyway. But let's say we had a completely flat, you know, portion of the earth. You still wouldn't be able to see the curvature because you're so close to the surface of the earth and the earth is so big, it's imperceptible at that height, the height being, you know, 4 to 6 feet off the ground or whatever your head happens to be at.
Because it's flat and level, like a mirror. Thus creating the baseline we should start with rather than assuming a 360-degree arced ball. No.
Again, that wasn't initially assumed, though. That was tested and shown to be true over millennia. The ancient Greeks knew the earth was round because there were tests done. It's a whole thing involving wells and the sun being directly overhead one well. It's a whole thing. I've gone over it before. But, like, that was an initial test, and it was done thousands of years ago. And they actually estimated the size of the earth very, very close. So they did a really good job. But, like, in the intervening millennia, other people have done a variety of tests that have also shown the same thing, not to mention the fact that human beings have been to space and taken pictures, so we know the earth is round.
We should assume it's flat, like everything we can measure from a foot to a football field. Any resting water we can put can be mechanically measured to be perfectly flat and level. So that's where we start from. And until anybody can prove at any distance, suddenly it starts curving due to...
Hold on. Oh. Whoopsie. There it is.
Gravity, which has never been done, then that's the only scientifically proven assumption we can make, is we are flat and level. As to do with anything in the sky and the alignments of the stars and all that, I don't know. other than what we can observe. And what we can observe is the same stars making the same patterns for thousands of years.
He's so mad. Did you hear how angry that was in his voice? My goodness, this guy's gonna have a stroke if he doesn't chill out.
Observe. And what we can observe is the same stars making the same patterns for thousands of years. As if they are rotating around us on a fixed, stationary Earth.
The Earth isn't stationary, though. Sorry.
That is flat and level, as we have scientifically proven
That's not how science works. What do you think science is?
repeatedly.
The guy who thinks his garage is a recording studio also believes that science is when you just say stuff. Cool. Short one, but nonetheless, I don't know. Kind of a frustrating dude. Odd Yvera, thank you for following. Voxy Bands, thank you for following. The DAC, thank you for resubscribing with a 3-month streak. Happy New Year, Hannah. Love the drip. LMAO. Happy New Year. Bardlock Moses with 100 bits. So he's saying he's an idiot. Saying you don't know is perfectly fine. I just find it frustrating when someone says, I don't know, therefore no one knows, which is basically his supposition. EO80 with 20 bits, estimating the size of the Earth, or as I like to call it, 2 wells, 1 man. The Otaku X with 100 bits, Earth is round. I saw it on Star Trek, Doctor Who, and Power Rangers, multiple sources. Yeah, that's also how I know there's an evil castle on the moon where Rita Repulsa lives. And he can breathe on the moon, apparently. Thanks, Power Rangers. Tellurian Katrin with 20 bits. Today's Tinfoil Tuesday contestants have melted my brain. I don't know how you stand it, though. I'm sure your shiny hat helps repel the dumb. Keep on keeping on, Shine Mother. Thank you. This one seems crazy. Let's take a look at this one. This one's called The Crown, the White Horse Symbolism. This is the end rapture scene, the graduation cap exposed.
This is a continuation of my last video and the importance of signs and symbols, as we see here, with what I call the crown. And that gets back to what I showed in my last video presentation, the quote from Manly P. Hall: when the human race learns to read the language of symbolism, a great veil will fall from the eyes of men. And definitely, this is the key aspect to learning about what is really taking place in this world. Again, this world full of nothing but lies and deception. And that, again, gets back to what's going down now, and the crown symbolism, a huge aspect to what is taking place today. And again, the crown, the wreath, symbolism all over the place, going back to Roswell and Stanton Friedman, as I showed again in my previous video. As you see here, Stanton Friedman with the globe in the back.
Coronavirus is called the coronavirus because of the spike proteins on it that make it look like it has a crown. Corona means crown.
And again, the book, Crash at the Crown, like I call it. And that gets into this movie that was released back in 2013, which has really fallen under the radar with the importance of a lot of symbolism. And let's get right to it with this scene here, where Seth Rogen, the actor...
If I look anywhere for my worldview and where they're hiding the secrets of how the world really works, it's Seth Rogen stoner comedies, typically. That's why Sausage Party is basically my Bible.
Supposedly the director. We know there's people behind the scenes, behind all of this. And these people are just, they're giving credit for producing, directing these movies, when again, there's people definitely behind the scenes, behind all of this. And before even moving forward into the symbolism with the crown, I want to show this with the actor going inside the fridge to get a drink. And when he pulls it out, of course, just take a look at the color orange.
Yeah, it's like a Fanta. It's an orange soda. What?
Again, all about symbolism. And the number 33 when it comes to Freemasonry. But more importantly, again, this
guy's like Hans Wormhat. He believes in the orange 33 stuff.
movie really,
maybe this is where Hans got it, honestly.
Flying under the radar when it comes to symbolism. And there you go right here. In this one scene in the convenience store before the rapture takes place with this scene in the movie. Let's move it forward.
It says Corona because Corona is a brand of beer.
And right when
they're in a liquor store or like a convenience store with liquor and beer and stuff.
So the crown symbolism.
Honestly, it's probably intentional based on the framing, product placement. Corona probably paid them to put that in the movie.
Take a look at what takes place. And this is, again, the rapture scene from the movie. And take a look at what happens. All these people get raptured up. They get pulled up into the air, into the sky, being raptured away. And that gets into the whole topic of, again, what I covered earlier in my previous video, with the whole idea of the alien agenda that's being pushed, this false agenda, which we all know, Project Bluebeam, and the whole idea, again, of the rapture. And this is the reasoning behind this, to conceal what's really happening with these people being taken away, being raptured away. Society's going to be told they've been taken away by aliens, when in reality they've been raptured. So that's a concept as far as this movie is concerned, again, with the rapture and the whole alien agenda. They're going to, as always, give false meanings, false reasonings for things. And definitely, again, getting back to the whole idea of the crown itself. This video is really going to be about symbolism, as always, towards the end times. And I showed this before in a live stream with Billy Idol in San Francisco during this concert. And you see the lightning bolt, which represents Satan, as you see here, Marilyn Manson.
I'm going to be honest, if I'm Satan, I can find better emissaries than Billy Idol in the year 2020. Like, I have nothing against Billy Idol. I like some Billy Idol songs from the 80s and stuff. Not so much his cyberpunk album, but, you know, he's had some hits, okay? Nothing wrong with Billy Idol, okay? However, if I'm Satan, I find a more famous spokesperson than Billy Idol.
And the same exact lightning bolt, where it states in Luke chapter 10, verse 18 in the Bible, where Jesus beheld Satan falling from heaven as lightning. And what do? They put the crown on Satan, the representation of Satan, the lightning bolt. So definitely the symbolism is there.
Since when is Satan a lightning bolt? I missed the memo on that one.
And of course the one-eyed symbolism with Marilyn Manson. And as I showed before as well, the ending of this one VHS tape for Billy Idol. At the very end, it says management. You can see here in the credits, it's D-Man Entertainment.
His manager's last name is DeMan, you idiot. He's not a demon. Okay, guys, we're part of a secret cabal that's bringing Satanism to the kids via our demonic magic. Now, you know what would be really funny? What if we call our agency Demand Entertainment? Why? Why would we tell them we're demons? No, we spell it completely differently. But it's like, wink, wink, we're demons. But don't think we're demons. Oh, that seems really stupid, because our whole plan is based around being secretive about this. Oh, also, we should put a Satan symbol behind Billy Idol. Okay.
with the orange background. So definitely you know who Billy Idol, the Billy Goat, is working for. And again, it comes down to the devil is 33, just like orange. So again, everything is coordinated. There's definitely a reason behind all these concepts. And that gets into this from a Masonic encyclopedia. The ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. So again, they're telling you without speaking with signs and symbols, definitely. And so very important to understand this concept. And let's take a look here at this one presentation with all the concept, the compass rose and the 33, the rose cross, like Jesus Christ rose from the dead. Golgotha, the place of the skull. As you can see here, symbolism is so very important, of course, to Freemasonry, as I demonstrated many times with Crowley.
I'm going to be real. This says, like, Golgotha or something, I don't know, but when I first initially looked at it, the word looked like cat girls to me, and I was like, wait, what? Cat girls? Are we talking about cat girls now? I'm tired.
As I demonstrated many times with Crowley, and you see the sign for Baphomet. Let's get a little bit of a closer look. As you can see here, the multi-crosses, the Baphomet is, of course, on the hat of the Grand Sovereign Commanders, as I showed many times. George Washington being the very first U.S. president. He's listed first as a Freemason and first president in that order, of course.
Probably that's something on property owned by the Freemasons, so they're going to be like, hey, here's George Washington. Also, he was a Freemason. Isn't that cool? He was part of our club.
With Freemasonry being in the order of importance, and as I mentioned many times, with the G for 33, with the square and the compass, with Freemasonry, when it comes to the alphabet, of course, A through Z is 1 through 26. The G is a 7. Also, when you flip over the alphabet, you land on G again. It is a 33. So definitely all by design. And getting back to more imagery here, with this Grand Sovereign Commander, of course, with the same sign as Baphomet, as I should point out, the Masonic Goat God, as you see the as above, so below. But again, all about symbols here. You have, of course, the crown, which this video is all about, the dual-headed eagle, and of course the all-seeing eye within the pyramid. And a very important aspect to point out with the pyramid itself is the angles within. It's 60 degrees within each angle. So in numerology, the way they work is the zeros mean nothing. So you have your 6, 6, and 6, 4, 6, 6, 6.
That's just how geometry works. The interior angles of a The interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if you have like an equilateral triangle, that's by necessity. That's just how...
6 within the pyramid itself, again with the all-seeing eye. So definitely every single aspect, there is a reason. And again, getting back to the whole idea about...
Like, I'm really bad at math, and even I know about the add up of the interior angles of triangles. Like, how stupid is this guy?
Baphomet, the as above, so below. This is biblical, where Jesus separated the sheep from the goats, as mentioned in Matthew 25. The sheep up and the goats down. So this represents heaven and hell. And again, getting back to more symbolism. And you see here, moving on here with, as you can see, Nelson Mandela with Morgan Freeman. And getting a little bit of close-up of Nelson Mandela and the symbol with the ribbon. This is so very important when it comes to Freemasonry. Again, with symbols. He's wearing the coded 33 with ribbon.
I imagine... This is the thing with people like this who see symbology absolutely everywhere. They have so many different things that they claim, mean things, whether it's ribbon or the color orange or any number involving 6. If all of these things mean Satanism or Freemasonry, then you're going to be able to pick up on it everywhere, because the color orange is a common color. The number 33 or the number 6 are common numbers. The angles of triangles just work like that. Like, they're gonna pick up on it absolutely everywhere. It's so frustrating that they're unable to see that they're just looking for stuff, and they're creating situations. And yes, it was an AIDS ribbon. It's literally an AIDS awareness ribbon.
Being 33. So they're very clever in the way they operate. And of course, Morgan Freeman wearing the black and white tuxedo. Again, all about signs and symbols.
The color black and white in combination, even though they're some of the most commonly put together colors ever, because they're contrasting. One is all the colors of the spectrum. One is like none of them, right? My computer. Okay. My computer is black and white. Does that mean it's satanic? No! It means it's a common color combination. Ugh. So the color orange, the color black and white, the number 33, the number 6, any sort of ribbon, these are things that are all satanic. And if anyone has any of these things, you're satanic.
And we should get back here to a very important aspect of the world deception, and that's shaping and forming the minds of the youth. As I showed earlier, as you see in the right-hand corner with these graduate students, again, getting back to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. And these students have no idea the whole concept of the mortarboard that they wear and how ridiculous they look wearing these stupid-looking graduation hats.
I'm pretty sure people understand that graduation caps are interesting looking, but it's just part of the ceremony. It's a ceremonial thing. You don't wear them out and about.
And again, it comes back to Freemasonry, the bricklayers of society. Education is not...
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Where do graduation caps come from? History of graduation caps. This particular style of cap has been developed in the 15th century, evolving from the square-shaped berettas used by Catholic clerics, scholars, and professors. The tassel worn around the motorboard is the one item of regalia that is probably allowed for the greatest latitude when it comes to traditions. It is in black, or the university's colors, or the colors of a specific college. So it comes from, like, Catholic tradition, and then it spread out into academia, and then it's just continued to be a thing that goes on today.
It's not about education, it's about indoctrination. As you can see here, this depiction of the Bricklayer College graduation, shaping and forming the minds of...
It's just a joke. It's just a funny visual gag. It's not meant to be informative.
Of the use. And as you can see here, the mortarboard being put to use. Again, shaping and forming society when it comes down to it. Look at all these indoctrinated students that have no clue of what's taking place. And this is a very sad reality. Generation after generation being basically brainwashed into the lie system. And you just look at the youth of today, and now they're wearing these face coverings. And
yeah, because there's a global pandemic. We're up to 356,000 deaths in the United States alone, and we're at our highest daily death count. We're now at more than a 9/11 death toll every single day. Wear a mask, please.
It's just really sad to see this. And again, these students have no idea, again, how ridiculous they look, not only with the mortarboard hat, but also the face covering. And that gets into the so-called enlightened ones, like you see here with Bill Cosby. He's not wearing that flat
oh no
mortarboard hat. It's only intended for the indoctrinated, not for the enlightened ones. It's considered an insult to wear, again, these ridiculous looking hats, and just more images, photos of Bill Cosby, as you can see here during this one presentation at a college, again wearing the standard baseball type of cap, and you see him here with the cap with the tassels. All about Freemasonry. Of course, when you graduate, you get your degree. Just like in Freemasonry, the multiple or the many degrees of Freemasonry. And of course, Bill Cosby being one of the so-called enlightened ones with the all-seeing eye or the one-eyed symbolism.
Who said Bill Cosby was an enlightened one?
He's quite young. And this is another one where he's a bit younger as well. But one thing people might say, what about all the controversy surrounding Bill Cosby that's been in the spotlight over the years? It's nothing but nonsense. It's world stage theater, and you can see him.
No, he's in jail because he assaulted a bunch of women. That's a thing that happened.
Smiling, laughing, and even with his attorneys, they're all laughing. And this is their way of communicating, again, without speaking, as I showed earlier. They're not going to tell you with words. It's a bunch of nonsense. But they'll tell you, again, without speech, without speaking. And it's very, very clear and very, very obvious. And getting back to Bill Cosby not wearing those ridiculous graduation caps, just like other celebrities. You see here, these three here, Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah Winfrey, Will Ferrell, and all.
Did he just call Will Ferrell Will Ferrell? I kind of like that. Ooh, hype train.
Also, Tom Hanks at Yale, and they wear the baseball cap, or Steve.
They're not the ones graduating. He's giving a speech. The hat's for when you're graduating, or maybe even if you get like an honorary degree, but Tom Hanks is just giving a speech at Yale. Why would he be wearing one?
Jobs case, you just don't wear a hat at all. You don't wear that ridiculous cap. It's, again, only meant for the unenlightened, the indoctrinated students to wear. Now, talking about Tom Hanks and getting back to the crown symbolism, as you can see here, and this is a photo from Twitter that he posted.
He posts a lot of typewriters. Tom Hanks collects antique typewriters, which is maybe a little redundant. I guess at this point most typewriters are probably antique. But that's a hobby that Tom Hanks has, so he posts a lot of pictures of typewriters and stuff.
While he's in Australia, and take a look at this typewriter and what it says here. Basically, the dual crowns on the typewriter.
I'm pretty sure Corona was a pretty big brand of typewriters back in the day. Hold on, let me, Sorry, I keep having to take these off and put them on. It's hard to type in them. Corona typewriters. Typewriter company. Is there just a Wikipedia page? Smith Corona. Smith Corona is an American manufacturer of thermal labels, direct thermal labels, and thermal ribbons used in warehouses for primary barcode labels. Once a large U.S. typewriter and mechanical calculator manufacturer, it expanded aggressively during the 60s. So it was like one of the world's biggest typewriter companies. And he's like, look, this typewriter has the name of a like, imagine if someone, like, pointed out an iPhone, right? And they pointed to the Apple on the back of the iPhone, or the iMac, or whatever, and they're like, this is representative of Eve eating the apple of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and people, you know. You can pick out any random thing and claim it's got some sort of sinister symbolism.
As you can see, and of course, what it says here is 33 numerology. What a major surprise that is. And of course, when you have it posted twice, that's the duality, that's the dual 33s, as I show many times with Luther Smith, the Grand Sovereign Commander. Also with Madonna, and also a typewriter with the crown symbolism for all to see.
It's the name of the
Of
company.
course, this concert from back in 2019 with Madonna and the face coverings being worn. Okay, what does this remind you of? Which I'll show in a moment. And that gets to Denver, Colorado, which we all have seen the murals at the airport.
Again, these people's like pop culture knowledge seem to have stopped sometime in the 90s. Because I don't think anyone's cared about Madonna since the early 2000s or something like that. Not that there's anything, I don't know anything about Madonna. I don't know if she's done anything questionable. But, like, I just don't think her music's been particularly big outside of a nostalgia thing for the past 20 years or so. Why does she have privy knowledge? Oh, good, he's going to go to the Denver International Airport.
And I'll get to a little bit more on this later on. But these are basically identical type of masks that you see here.
It's a gas mask. That's a gas mask. It's a mural. For those who don't know, the Denver International Airport, a lot of conspiracy theorists are obsessed with it because they have a lot of interesting art pieces. So they'll look at stuff like this and be like, oh my god, it's about a New World Order, evil, whatever, you know? They'll read into it. Basically, it's an art piece about how war, you know, damages people, innocent people, women and children, and innocents who had nothing to do with the conflict. It's a general, like, war guy with a sword and a gun stabbing at a dove of peace. It's not even subtle. It is what it is. But of course, conspiracy theorists gotta look at it and be like, ah, blah, 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 blah.
And let's get back to the image again with Madonna. And literally the same kind of mask that you...
Yeah, they're gas masks. They're gas masks based on World War II era gas masks. Do you know anything? Do you know what a gas mask is? It's not a fictional thing. They're basing these on real things that exist.
See being worn. And before all this crown, like I said, I'll call it the crown nonsense first started, literally it goes back to Kobe and where he was supposedly his final resting place with his daughter. And you can see the...
This is distasteful. I don't even want to touch on this very much, but Corona del Mar.
Right,
Corona is a Spanish word, right? It's a Spanish word, and Del Mar also is. So it's the name of a town. Again, Corona means crown, basically.
I'll just call it the Crown del Mar.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
And here you see, I'll just call him GF
Thanks for the hype
short.
train.
And definitely with these, of course, staged photos, all the symbolism in plain sight.
Oh, yikes. Okay, I'm skipping past the Kobe thing, because this is really, really disrespectful. I'm not even, like, a sports person, but come on. He just passed. And so did, I think, his daughter. Like, that's not cool.
Close up, you can see it's 33 centiliters. Unbelievable how all this comes into play, but that's not the only thing. The color of the logo itself, the design of this beer, it's golden blue. And the golden blue just so happens to...
Oh, so orange, black and white, and golden blue. Basically any colors. He can find some way of making it sinister.
Be 33 as well. It's really unbelievable. You have 3 33s basically for your 666 when it comes to the crown. Again, being 33. The color code itself, like I just mentioned. And of course, the weight, the volume inside the actual drink itself is 33. So it's really unbelievable how far they go with these concepts. And again, it's going to go over society's head. The majority, the masses, they have no idea what's taking place whatsoever. And that gets into this quote by Noam Chomsky, which I showed many times over the years. The general population doesn't know what's happening, and it doesn't even know that it doesn't know.
Okay, what he's talking about is like the military-industrial complex, American neo-imperialism, wealthy, like taking money from the working class and hiding it over. Like, he's not talking about Freemasonry. He's talking about, like, issues with capitalism and issues with America's imperial interventionalist foreign policies.
And this one as well from Noam Chomsky. The world is a very puzzling place. If
manufactured consent, yeah.
If you're not willing to be puzzled, you just become a replica of someone else's mind. And what it comes down to is the elite know, even though when they leak this truth out there with their puppets like Noam Chomsky, definitely no hero, but the masses have been so far down a path of lies, so powerfully indoctrinated into the lie system at a very young age. Once you're successfully indoctrinated into the lie system, when truth is introduced, it will be rejected. That's how strong the programming is. And that, again, gets back to how they reveal the truth as a form of mockery. And, again, the public will not get it. They will not understand this. Now, getting back to this one photo, this so-called iconic photo of GF, and I did mention the red and yellow as well.
Oh, so now also red and yellow. So blue and yellow and red and yellow. So McDonald's is satanic or a Freemason thing or something.
Very, very important key aspect.
Every single color is apparently Freemasonry. If every color is a symbol for Freemasonry, then none of them are because they're just everywhere.
Aspect, again, is the sign symbols, dates, numbers, and colors, like I mentioned many times, when it comes to, again, the red and yellow. Just like you see here on the MasterCard, you have the red and yellow, and it makes orange.
That's how colors work!
And the color...
That's how additive colors work!
Coding is so prevalent in society, as you can see here with these companies, and the hammer...
Ah, yes. My favorite fast food restaurant. The Soviet Union. Hello, thanks for choosing the USSR. What can I get for you today? I'll have a 5-year plan, a new railroad system, 3 gulags, and a large Coke. Thank you, that'll be 73,000 rubles. Please, move ahead to the first window, comrade. Jesus Christ.
Sickle with the Soviet Union, Russia, as you can see as well, Pizza Hut. But one thing I find interesting is McDonald's, the NWO's #1 fast food restaurant of choice. And the MM, as you can see here. Basically, here, dual 33s in plain sight when you turn it sideways. So again, we live in this world just like the movie They Live. With the
question, what about all the McDonald's's that don't have 4 arches all next to each other? Because most of them don't. The one near me has 1. It's just on the sign by the road, but it doesn't have other ones. It has one of those newer designs with, like, the swoosh. No? Nothing? Okay.
Billboards, and of course, that will be towards the end where people can see that. As far as
the USSR makes you hungry. The USSR made millions of people hungry. There's a little Soviet famine joke for you, Jesus Christ.
Reality where people see McDonald's, but they don't see the dual 33s in plain sight. One thing I want to point out as well when it comes to JF and the whole crown symbolism, and that's getting into the nonsense that's taking place today, where he supposedly, of course, contracted this nonsense here, and that gets involved with the other characters on the world stage. As you can see here, the supposed hero cop in Seattle, when he turns his back, and this was all over the mainstream media as well, as he shows his back, and what do you see? The crown in California, in the checkmate or checkmate in the black.
Let me look up this company. Hold on. checkmate. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And this is his, I don't know what they call, not a dojo, I don't think, because it's, you know, it's not karate. Whatever they would call this. That's the name of his business. So he's wearing a sweater from, like, a gym for people who study Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It is a dojo? Okay.
Black and white.
That would have taken 5 seconds for this guy to Google.
Symbolism. And of course, as I shown before, the Freemasonic symbolism, as you can see here with the 33. And he goes by G. Anderson 33. Just an amazing coincidence, I'm sure, to the coincidence theorist. Now, a huge aspect when it comes to programming, of course, is the movie industry, Hollywood. And you can see here from this 1987 movie called Full Metal Jacket, where I show, again, Luther Smith, this Grand Sovereign Commander, and all in plain sight with this one scene. You see the dual 33s and the eagle of Freemasonry all in plain sight. So you'll understand when you watch a movie such as Captain America, and you have this one screenshot.
Ah, yes. The cinematic... Full Metal Jacket. Great. Stanley Kubrick? Did Stanley Kubrick do Full Metal Jacket? I'm correct, right? Anyway, one of the best movies of all time, Full Metal Jacket, at least the first half, versus Captain America, the First Avenger. They're all over the place with the symbolism.
Here, in this one movie, and there's so much symbolism taking place that will, again, go over the 99.9%'s head. They will not see what's right in front of them, when it comes to revelation of the method or predictive programming with this movie. And just getting a little bit of a close-up, as you can see here, the crown symbolism. Okay, and you see...
I'm pretty sure that's a firework. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a firework going off.
The stadium with empty seats, all in plain sight. And it's...
Captain America Civil War, or not Civil War, Captain America the First Avenger came out in like 2010, 2011? Coronavirus wasn't discovered until, at least this coronavirus, COVID-19, wasn't discovered until 2019. It's in the name.
Broadway. This world's nothing but a stage, so this is a...
No, it's because they're on Broadway. It's because the intersection is... They're... Ah! Does he not know that Broadway is an actual street? Does he not know that Broadway is a real street?
Very appropriate.
You're interested in why it says Sister Act? It's an ad for the Sister Act stage play, the musical. There's a Sister Act musical. And it was on Broadway at the time that this was filmed.
That you see Broadway all in plain.
Oh no, so there's a Snopes article on this? Fine. Did Captain America movie predict the coronavirus pandemic? Let me see what the actual origin is. There we go. Yeah, it was supposed to be a firework. It was an ad for Barilla pasta that looked like fireworks. I called it. I called that shit. Do I ever worry that I'll snap one day and turn into one of these conspiracy nuts? Kind of. A little bit. It would be easy to fall into it. I think it'd be easier than any of us would like to admit, you know? If I ever do, snap me out of it, chat.
Side, you look a little bit lower, and you see what I'll call the face covering.
It's it's the poster for Phantom of the Opera, like the longest running Broadway production of all time. Or is that Cats? Cats or Phantom of the Opera is. They're both very high up there.
Again, all in plain sight. All the symbolism.
He doesn't know enough about musical theater to be talking about these ads.
Is all there for all to see. And a little bit to the right, a little bit of a close-up to the right, is you see the McDonald's, and again, the MM for 33.
That's just a real McDonald's that's in Times Square.
The umbrella symbolism. They love the umbrella symbolism, as I covered years ago in the Rihanna music video, Umbrella, featuring Jay-Z. And as you can see, this performance with all the umbrellas. And as I broke down the video, all the symbolism with Baphomet in the water splash coming towards the camera. But again, the umbrella itself, going back to ancient Buddhism, and you see the umbrella symbolism.
Okay, so also umbrellas. Any umbrella, even though umbrellas are used for practical purposes, either shielding you from rain, or I guess snow if you wanted, or sun if it's really bright out, you're a Freemason, which is also the same thing as a Buddhist or something, because Buddhism. This guy's worse than Hans. I think this guy is worse than Hans. Because at least Hans, I don't know. Hans wasn't smart, but I think Hans wasn't as confident as this guy. This guy feels like he's hot shit, and I don't like it.
And I just look at it as some type of protection with these occultists. And again, they carry on the tradition in plain sight with their false god, Buddha. Again, all in plain sight with their symbolism. But every little aspect, there's reasons, of course, and there's absolutely more in here if people want to dig a bit more, but definitely the major ones I am pointing out.
That's definitely on the bingo card if you're still playing for fun, by the way. Misunderstanding of Eastern religion. Someone demonstrates a poor understanding of philosophy, Eastern religion. For sure.
And that gets into the whole scene once again with Captain America. And this time a little bit left. Gotta zoom in, you gotta look in the background to see more. The more you dig, the more you find. And definitely the crown. And I'll just get a little bit of a close-up.
Corona is one of the most popular beer brands in the United States.
You see again the crown symbolism, and you can see where it says George. And this has been pointed out before. So again, always the hidden in plain sight. They love to have their Easter eggs all in plain sight. And that gets back to another Easter egg when it comes to the crown with this Michael Douglas movie called Falling Down in the Korean convenience store. And you see the dual crown signs. The dual 33 in plain sight. And Michael just happens to be a 33 name as well. Just a little bit of a close-up. And I want to get into more symbolism when it comes down to it with all we've seen in recent history with the horse or the white horse symbolism.
So horses. All horses are now symbolic and not just, horses.
And before continuing on with this horseman bus, the Royal Berkshire bus in the UK. And I've covered this in the past. When you look at the license plate, again, the coded license plates. Always look at the license plates when it comes to these news stories. Very often they're coded. And you have here YX68UAW. And what do you have here? Your 33, of course. And this comes down to the Bible when it comes to the white horse symbolism.
Do these people spend all day typing random words and words in photos into that, numerology thing to see what comes up as 33?
And that gets back to the crown. And I saw...
Sometimes also he'll put a space, but other times he won't. I assume because one of them, does, in fact, produce 33 and the other one doesn't. Which seems pretty inconsistent. You'd think it'd be one or the other, with or without a space, not both.
And behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went forth conquering. This is from Revelation 6:2. So again, all this stuff we see coded in plain sight with these news stories. Definitely there's a reason. And even going back in time, with the white Bronco, with AC and both OJ owning a white Bronco each. So definitely, it's all in plain sight with their symbolism, with their news stories. And
OJ Simpson murdered his ex-wife and her new boyfriend and got away in a Ford Bronco because Freemasons?
The 33 front and back of the license plate. And of course, with Barack Obama in Denver, Colorado during the speech, and you see the white horse in plain sight. So, again, the symbolism
That's
is
part of the stadium.
Always there. And in conjunction, of course, with the crown is the white horse. And again, of course, it gets back to this Bible verse. The crown, the white horse symbolism. And again, getting back to Denver, and this is what I showed earlier.
The team are the Broncos, yeah. Yep, the Denver Broncos. Why do they have a horse? Oh, it's the team? Never mind.
With the dove, which represents peace. Obviously, you see the end result with this dove. And you see the covering and just more symbolism. As you can see this monument again in the Denver airport. And you see the Masonic Square and Compass, of course. Denver International Airport. Get a little bit of a close-up. And you see New World Airport Commission. And again, all the symbolism in plain sight. Like I mentioned throughout this video, the whole idea...
Oh, is he going to talk about the horse sculpture outside the Denver International Airport?
Yeah, the whole concept as the Bible verse, Revelation 6:2, with the white horse.
It doesn't look like he does. He missed out. Hold on. Denver Airport horse. This horse is not white, so it wouldn't work. But a lot of conspiracy theorists will also bring up this creepy horse sculpture that's outside of the Denver International Airport, and they'll tie it into the conspiracy. So he actually missed out on this one. He should have brought up the horse.
The crown symbolism. So again, you know, as time moves on, definitely things are made very, very clear, and definitely it's all in plain sight.
John chapter 9, verse 25. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see. Now I can see.
Again, the movie They Live is about capitalism. John Carpenter has explicitly said this. It is not about some New World Order bullshit. It is about the current status quo under capitalism. Like, I'm all for death of the author. If that's not how you want to see They Live, that's fine. But that was the intent. If you give a shit about authorial intent at all. Jesus, this guy is out there. He has a ton of videos, too. So, I'm excited to explore more of this guy in the future. I miss Hans, so I need another conspiracy theorist who sees nonsense absolutely everywhere. But they'll never replace Hans. Not in my heart. Okay, I'm gonna read the bits messages, and then I believe someone is debating Mimsy Moon at 8:30. Who is it? Did someone say it was, hold on. Altered Rin? Yeah, we'll rate Altered Rin. Wonderful. Let me do these bits messages, and then we'll do that. Canadian Left Support with 20 bits. Hannah, I translated vaccine from Latin on Google Translate. Vac means cow, and een means ink. The vaccine is going to turn us into cows. I think I was talking with Baja about that the other day, and vaccines are actually named because it was... Oh, God, what was it? Was it used for cows, or was it made using some sort of cow material, or it was against some disease that was, like, contracted? I don't remember. It's a whole thing. It was cowpox. That's what it was. Thank you. Big Yikes Frankie with 25 bits. True Christians know that dinosaurs did in fact exist, and that they were all raptured except for the birds. Tellurian Katrin with 20 bits. This is some chick tract nonsense. The Otaku X says, he replied, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Big Yikes Frankie, he's not going to be happy when he hears which color is the new black. Zonlick, thank you for following. Hell's Wake, thank you for resubscribing with a 3-month streak, says Uwu. Bardlock Moses with 100 bits. All hail Hannah's Satan computer. Quasi Shuffle Kitty with 20 bits. The black and white on Hannah's computer are opposition to each other to represent the duality of the reality, perception, and tuneness, symbolizing her involvement in the Lucifer experiment. Ghetto Kanya with 50 bits. Hi, Hannah, just now catching the stream. How's the foliage? Pretty good, especially since I got the new outfit. It's much more comfortable than the other stuff and less crinkly. Just as shiny, but less crinkly. Not that fragile with 100 bits. Don't the Moors also think Bill Cosby is some important figure? Different way. In a different way, yes. They think that because he is famous, he has some sort of influence and that he knows the truth. But the truth that they think it is completely different. They used cowpox to inoculate for smallpox. Okay, thank you. The Otaku X, thank you for gifting a sub. Sassiest of Squatches, thank you for resubscribing with a 2-month streak. Tellurian Katrin with 20 bits. Have the last of my bits. Must make dinner. Hope to see you tomorrow if you can summon the will to cover the political stuff. Oh, I'm sure I will. The Otaku X with 20 bits. I've genuinely heard people say Apple was satanic because their logo was the fruit of the tree of knowledge, and buying their products was symbolic of accepting the apple from Satan. Perfect. Screaming Jelly Bean with 20 bits. 1999 had worries of Y2K. Banned vitamin C had a lot of hits in 1999. What has vitamin C? Oranges. Thus Y2K was a satanic plot for world domination, and it worked. Shibby Loves, thank you for following. Bitmummy, thank you for following. Mandaface77, thank you for following. Jalen Jean with 20 bits. Hey mom, can we go to Stalinist Russia for dinner? MMO addicted to 20 bits. I'm sorry, comrade, we don't serve capitalist cola here. Just compot. Mary Much Marcha, thank you for following. 74 Quinn 74 with 20 bits. Could you go over bingo? Sorry if you did it recently. I mean, we're done anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Querulous Artisan with 20 bits. It was pasta, LOL. Finchin Matter, thank you for following and subscribing with Prime. Querulous Artisan with 70 bits. I feel like we went too hardcore into the English teacher symbolism and his high dislike of keep it simple, stupid. Ghetto Kanya with 20 bits. Can we get a Hannah makes a hilarious zinger about the Soviet Union on the bingo card? That would never get checked. Jalen Jean with 20 bits. Someone take away this man's calculator like an advanced placement math teacher. Wing the ultimate nug with 20 bits. Right, but who would even check a license plate? What are the odds? Could it be photoshopped? Wagroads 13 with 100 bits. Spurious numerology, reading into literal random alpha numerics. Yeah, we had numerology from earlier anyway on the bingo card. Ashiboo 74 with 20 bits. Night chat, night Hannah. Thank you. Have a good night as well. Ryan Cap 217, thank you for following. The Otaku X with 50 bits. The new outfit looks safer to chew than foil too. True. Miege, thank you for following. Okay, we caught up. Good job, everyone. That was a successful Tinfoil Tuesday. So we'll be back tomorrow, probably for Chud Watch. We're going to keep an eye out on the Trump rally that's happening tomorrow because Congress is going to be certifying the Electoral College votes. It's going to be a nightmare, so stay tuned for that. I hope you like the new outfit, although it does mess up my hair quite a bit. I'm a wreck, but it's fine. Enjoy the stream with Altered Rin. Yeah. Just have a good night, everyone. Chat is valid. And yes, tomorrow is Baja and Mai's 11-month anniversary. Hooray. Almost a year. Crazy. All right, have a good night, everyone. See you guys later.